Okay.
Sunday good, Sunday bad. Kukul tumuku, yuna isa yuna no. Besuruku, Sunday good, Sunday bad. Kukul tumuku, yuna isa yuna no. Someone can make the cat dance. Your delays, not your denial. Don't give up, keep working harder. No matter how long the storm lasts, the sun will always shine behind the cloud. No matter how long the storm lasts, the sun will always shine behind the cloud. Your setback will be a major comeback. Me, pa, I only hope for long life. Ugly water can carry rock. Then they don't take no cause to worry. Give God the glory for the little love. Give God the glory, keeping me alive.
So I give God the glory for keeping me alive. Give God the glory for keeping me alive. Get a paper glory, I'm sorry. Give God the glory for keeping me alive. Once you got food to eat, tell you thank you. You get more to come, tell you thank you. You get air to breathe.
Black Hill Regional Park in Maryland comes alive on the 24th of July with an Independence Day country coke featuring a variety of Liberian DJs. Come and enjoy yourself to our Dumbo special, juicy dry rice, pepper soup, and bitter leaf and fufu. Other DJs include rub potato greens, cassava leaf, rare oil potato greens, and so much more. Now, on the sideline of those dishes is the smell of our pepper color and roasted meat that will keep you salivating. Yes, it's the Independence Day Country Coke happening in Black Hill Regional Park, 20930 Lake Ridge. For inquiries and reservation, contact Makam Boyu on cell numbers 240-636-8994 or Malo Brople on 240-5516-742. If you are in the DMV area, you can't afford to miss it as it promises to be great. Come, let's dance to our favorite Liberian songs while we enjoy our favorite DJs.
See, I spend no time for check. After party, party after party.
There's one place, and that place is the place you can find all your party supply. It's Models D Party Supply on Camp Johnson Road. It's Models D Party Supply. Has all and every kinds of party supplies you need, ranging from party dishes, plastic tablecloths, Disney party banners for kids, flowers for weddings and parties, balloons, different colors and sizes, party dishes, different colors and sizes, gift wrap papers. We also do the following: rental services, chairs, tables, chair covers, table runners, and chair sarge. You can find them all. Models D Party Supply. Our quality products bring you in, and our low prices bring you back. That's why we are Models D Party Supplies. Contact us on Camp Johnson Road, Monrovia, Liberia, next to Yes Transport, or call us on 0777-671-814, 0886-777-665.
Black Hill Regional Park in Maryland comes alive on the 24th of July with an Independence Day.
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down. Such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure, and start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
23rd of July 2021. The time in Monrovia is exactly 7:30. The time in Delaware, USA is 3:30. And we're very glad to be here. Today is the final edition of the program for the week. And welcome. If you're listening to one of our several platforms, we would like to say welcome, and we're very glad to be here. Now, good morning, Boka.
Good morning, Costa, and good morning to our many listeners who many bro.
Okay, you got the latest COVID numbers? Have they released anything since the last time?
No, they haven't. Since it's 17, they haven't. I don't know why they are not updating.
Yeah, they're probably sleeping. Stupid people, very unprofessional. At least put something out there.
Sure.
Let people know that the numbers have not changed. At least say something. You can't be since the 17th, what? 18th, 19th, 20th, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 6 days.
Yeah.
You've gone 6 days. You haven't put out any latest figures. That's crazy. They have to always inform the public about what's happening, about what's going on. All right, good. So they've got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yesterday, we talked extensively about the NTA, National Transit Authority,
Mm-hmm.
and the managing director, Mr. Herbert Macaulay. Herbert Macaulay is a BM, he's a 419er, and that's what he used to do back in the day. Then he finally settled in Germany. He married a German woman, became a German citizen. He's a good friend of George Weah's. Weah made him managing director of the NTA basically because back when Weah was broke and Herbert used to make money by swindling people, he used to give Weah money. He was quite generous to George Weah. So yesterday we talked about him, and we talked about the fact that his people were protesting over unpaid salaries for the last 4 months. These people have not taken pay.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, early afternoon, or morning actually, it was still in the morning, the LACC called him in a rather surprising move, I would say. A very brazen move, I would also say. But to me, it was all a stunt. It was a PR stunt.
Yeah.
It was just Liberman is just charade. There's absolutely nothing that they are going to do to Herbert Macaulay. You've still got what the beginning passing around.
Porter?
Charles de Gaulle, nothing happened. Still got a lot of other people who've done terrible things passing around. But I'm pretty sure that whole theatrical move they put on yesterday with calling Herbert Macaulay in at the LACC over allegations of corruption, You want to say these buggers have not been hearing us talk about these things for a long time? Of course, they've been hearing us talk about a long, long time. I'm pretty sure, yes, somebody asked the Maston boy, man, you of all people asking what a LACC has arresting powers? Jesus Christ, I'm just going to move on. Some of you, the questions you asked me, I'm like, what? Whew. Yes, LACC does have arresting powers. Anyway, so they called him in yesterday, and then they set the whole thing up to have the media present.
Sure, that's the problem.
Oh man, but honestly, the thing was a theatrical stunt. So they had the media present, and they brought him into the conference room at the LACC, and they're asking him questions right there in full view of live cameras. And the cameras are on, the recording devices are all on. It was all a stunt. I think Mr. Weir didn't like the fact that Herbert's attitude of stealing the money and not paying the workers is embarrassing him, George Weah, because seditions went out at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and they packed the buses. They took the NTA buses there, they parked them, they got off, and they were wearing CDC t-shirts and CDC berets. I'm sure Weah didn't like that. Now, Weah has a problem. He's been losing a lot. He's what the doctors and the healthcare practitioners will call, he's been hemorrhaging. He's been losing a lot of blood, politically speaking, losing a lot of supporters for a long time consistently. And I'm sure he does know that to see some of his people, lots of them, go to protest over unpaid salaries, whereas Weah himself knows that Herbert Macaulay is building a big hell of a mansion with a swimming pool and all. I think he wanted to just do something to appease his seditionists who are angry. It's going to be nothing more than that. That whole thing was a charade. Herbert Macaulay will not see the light of day in a courtroom. He's not going to get called in again. He's not likely to get called in again. He's not likely to get prosecuted. Weah is a thief himself. He's the biggest thief of them all. And so nothing will happen. Absolutely nothing will happen. So I think Herbert is taking it a little too far, by being reckless and not paying the people there, especially seditionists, because they're the only ones where pretends like he cares about when they do that sort of thing where they protest wearing a CDC caps and whatever. Oh, we are seditious. We lay a bit. If you want to get Weah's attention, just wear a CDC regalia, the damn beret, and a damn t-shirt, and say you are a seditious and you love George Weah so much and you're not protesting against him, but you just want him to come to your aid. That's when the idiot will listen to you. The son of a swine will listen to you if you say you are a seditious, how you love him, by the way. Did you hear them at the protest, the NTA workers?
Yeah.
You remember hearing them praising him, right?
Yeah.
How they love him, by the way, but they ain't got no problem with him. That only Herbert Macaulay they got problem with. You heard them say that?
Yes, I heard him.
Thank you. How they say we are Magadan, real manager, he might tell the road away.
Yeah.
How about our road? Tell the road you get a real manager. That's the strategy they used. Weah is like that. You just tell him, Weah, I love you, by the way. But the way the person treating me, they're not treating me good. I think Weah will listen to you. But if you go there, you say, Weah, I hear the protest against you, you disappointed all, we voted for you, you tell your back on all. Weah will not listen to you. But tell Weah, say you love him more than anything on the earth, more than your children and your wife and your house. And that you are not here to protest against him. So you will say, yeah, Waka, you're correct. Then he will say, Maggie, y'all go get our help, man. He made my people there who love my Benny can't protest here. They say the protest they're not against me. Look at the poor where my CDC teacher. That's how George Weah is. I know the man. I understand his psyche, how that his dim-witted, idiotic mind works. I understand it. I could write a damn book on George Weah entitled The Sophisticated Idiocy of Weah's Mind. I will write a book. How the man works. Just say, Joey, I love you. Bow away. Don't mind me, oh. Then you are protesting, yo. That I mean, send another money. The man spawning your government. You good man. He making you look bad. You say you love us, but the people that not love us, you say, Maggie, we gotta do something.
So my thing is that if President Weah just change the person that they want, so it means that their salary, they don't get time for their salary, whether they are paid on time, they are not paid on time. All they want is that they should just change Macaulay from the position. That's all.
Oh, but they're hoping that when you change Macaulay at NTA, they're hoping their salaries would be current. That's what they're hoping. And so the judge always said, change the man, everything should be fine for us, and you know, we still love you, and blah, blah, blah. But the man is the one who's not good. He's not treating us nicely. That's it for them.
Yeah, because
so anyway, that's what happened with Macaulay. Now, the thing everybody is talking about, I think I was the first to post that video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We broke the story, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. We did.
Yeah, we broke the story. And you know, it's interesting how when we break a story there, I see some people sending me the very story that we broke. Costa, have you seen this? Are you kidding? We broke the story, folks. We published a video. We published the story, then he sent it to me. He said, my man, you not see it? We published the story. We broke the story yesterday by publishing the video. I mean, other people had it, but we published it. A video, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. That's the duration of the video. Giving a guided tour of a mausoleum. Now, that word is something that most people aren't familiar with. A mausoleum is it's not just a grave or a tomb. It is not just a vault. It's like a whole house. I mean, McGill literally built a house for his mother. He built a grave inside the house. I mean, that building is big. And McGill built that. And then he built he built living quarters. He built living quarters for the person who would be minding his mother's grave. You saw a little apartment?
I saw it.
It's a little 1-bedroom apartment with a kitchen and a small sitting area in the back. Living quarters. My people, I don't see that one yet. But have you seen that where they build living quarters for somebody to live inside to mind the grave?
Even TB Joshua said they didn't do that one for him.
They not do it for TB Joshua. They one year, when I see the one year, when I see it before, I say, then he brought Ghanaian contractors to build this. The man said Liberian contractors would not build it well. He brought contractors from Ghana. Then he put the entire thing in fence. That thing looks like it sits on one lot of land, right? Just about a lot.
Either a lot or half lot, something like that. I can say half lot.
A lot or half a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be half a lot. Yeah. So I'm going to go with half a lot. That's what it looks like. Just to be fair. Now, so it's half a lot, and the fence is not just some kind of fence. The fence is, they plastered the fence with cement. Mm-hmm. They painted the fence. Then look at the tiles that they use, those expensive tiles on the entrance, the pillow. Did you see that angel, that artwork of the angel?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yes, the angel at the front entrance. Folks, for those of you who haven't seen this video, go on my page. I posted it, for 20-something thousand people have already watched it. 500 people have shared it from my page alone. That's how it went viral. So, Miguel, then you saw the tile in the yard, the entrance, the grass, the planted. Yeah. And then they put electricity. Then they have on the wall, they've got these 5 large pictures of his mother. Mm-hmm. They use marble tiles. Did you see the casket? It's a gold casket.
Oh, yeah, gold.
I looked it up. That casket should cost anywhere around $25,000 to $30,000 US. I looked the casket up. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the name on the casket, but I saw the picture, and I went and compared that with caskets that look kind of similar to that. And that's not a fake. That casket would go for anywhere around 25 to 30,000 United States dollars. The casket alone. That building, which is big, I mean, it's a massive building. And then they put electricity in the place. And they said they will have electricity on in that place.
Yeah.
I heard a guy who was doing a video explain that they will have electricity on. I mean, the lights. Did you see the lights?
Very nice.
My man, that place, you know, there's a piece written, Bokai. I am reminded. My literary mind reminds me. There was a piece written by John Milton, and as I say, I have this surrealistic feeling. My head is rising as I say it. There was a guy called John Milton. Now, the only way you will know John Milton if you are an avid lover of English literature. When I was a boy, I devoured English literature. John Milton was one of the most brilliant literary minds in the English language. And Milton was a scholar, a brilliant scholar. He wrote many things himself. And Milton wrote a particular piece on William Shakespeare. Milton was sophisticated, he was highly educated, but he was in awe of the sheer unparalleled genius of William Shakespeare, a guy who invented 15,000 words. He was the most brilliant literary mind in all of English literature. And so William Shakespeare wrote a particular poem on Shakespeare, and in that poem, I memorized that poem so many years ago, and this poem was like a eulogy to Shakespeare. And at the end of the poem, just around there, he says, "In such pomp does lie, that kings for such a tomb would wish to die." You know, Shakespeare said, John Milton said of William Shakespeare that the manner in which Shakespeare was buried, it was in a sepulchre. A sepulchre is like a mausoleum, like a place where they bury people. That Shakespeare was lying in such pomp, in such pageantry, in such glorified sepulchre, and that kings for such a tomb would wish to die. That the way they bury Shakespeare said, when you look at Shakespeare's grave, let me just break it down so that Ben can understand it. The way they bury Shakespeare said, just by looking at Shakespeare's grave, John Milton said, King never want to die. That's what they can bury in there. So that's why he meant that in such pomp, you know, the way he was lying there, you know, that kings for such a tomb would wish to die. So when you look at McGill man, the way they bury McGill Omar said, they can make some people they want to die. That's what they can bury in that. But anyway, of course, I don't want that to be buried in that. But this is John Milton speaking of Shakespeare. So when you look at McGill's the Mausoleum, now when you ought to get used to that word, that's not a vault, that's way beyond a vault. It's a mausoleum, it's a whole house. And I'm saying to myself, this guy, this level of opulence, this Salama Swan who I used to help him to put money in a pocket, and this guy just recently had nothing for himself, is today able to build a whole mausoleum like that to bury his mother. The insensitivity, you know, it's just mind-boggling. Then listen now, okay. They said we have COVID restrictions on burial ceremonies and all that kind of stuff. They went ahead, they shut down Stryker Funeral Home, slammed them with a $300 USD fine. Didn't they do the same thing at Samosas, Bogai?
No.
Okay, well, yeah, but it was Stryker. And they said more than 20 people were gathered. But at McGill's mother's funeral yesterday, they had way more than the allowed number of people who can attend a funeral. It was way more than 20. They broke the COVID protocol. They violated it. And I mean, you know, and Buckeye, you know, people should rest in peace. You know how when people die, they'll be like, rest in peace?
Yeah.
You think McGill's mother is actually resting in peace with all that noise people are making? You know, McGill brought this upon his mother, his late mother, to have all these people be writing all over the place and calling into radio talk shows. What are people talking about right now, Buckeye? You are on the ground. Isn't that what they're talking about? Everybody?
Everybody talking about it. Everybody.
You gotta speak into the mic, Buckeye, please.
So yesterday, I was sitting among few seditionists, so I just showed a video to them. The garden started like, "It is what we wasted our time for to vote these people into power." They fought
down inside.
They
are
disgracing us. They are making us look ugly. How can we go about defending them in such a manner when somebody is washing car with liquor, champagne? Somebody is there eating good food. The other person there burying their mother in gold casket. Doing, you know, all of these things make people to run away from you. Everything. Yeah.
I say people are angry. People are hurt. People are angry. It is not even funny. And the guys are just crazy. They don't really care. Buckeye, McGill, they don't really care. I mean, this is a guy who comes from nothing, who had absolutely nothing, and today he can build a. But Buckeye, don't you see how short the man's mother died about 2 weeks ago? The guy was able to build that whole thing in 2 weeks. But do you know what it means to bring contractors from Ghana to build a mausoleum that size in 2 weeks? Guy?
Yeah.
What it meant there with the grass? In fact, the grasses that are growing before they planted the grass looked like already growing in 2 weeks.
Sure.
Even the grass, maybe he brought special grass from Ghana to plant, that the grass would start growing in 2 weeks, that a whole house is built in 2 weeks to bury his mother in. You know, and I said to myself, these guys will leave power very soon. At least we know that, but they don't. How is he going to be able to sustain such a thing? That place has a maintenance cost. The man wants electricity on. They built the thing to have electricity running in the place. Jesus Christ. To have a caretaker who lives in a 1-bedroom apartment in the back to mind the man's mother's grave.
Yeah, because on the issue, I want to ask you, like,
my people, just so you know, that casket is about 20,000-30,000 US, that gold casket. So I can see why the man put somebody, security man, there to be minding the grave, okay? Because the casket is a fortune. Go on, Baka.
Yeah, I want to ask you like few questions, like 4 questions about this particular McGill's mother.
Whenever you're speaking, you become a little inaudible when you.
Okay, you getting me now?
Yeah, when you're speaking to the mic, you're good, but every time you turn your head away, it's not. Go
so I was saying I want to ask you like 4 questions about concerning the same topic that we are on. Normally, you talk about your mom, Sarah Burden, and saying some good things about her. And if you were in the position now, I can say McGill is the president of the Republic of Liberia because George, we are just acting, and McGill is the one running the country. If you are in his position, can you do such a thing?
First of all, Buckeye, I would not do such a thing. If I had lots of money, my own money, lots of money. If I were a rich man, my mother's very modest grave in my village, Kirisburg, Mashiton, I would make some modifications, because back when we buried her, we didn't, it was just a simple grave. Maybe I'll put tiles around it. You know, just do something with it. But that would be all. That would be all. That would be all that I would do, because mindless murder, knowing her, she would prefer me to give that money to somebody who needs it. My mom, knowing Sarah Burton, she would not want me to waste money to do that. And I would not do that. I would not build such a thing. If I had my own money, if I had lots of money, right now, these things I'm talking about, I can do it myself. I intend to do it. I intend to, you know, to modify my mother's grave and stuff like that. But as president of the republic with the people's money, in fact, with my own money, I wouldn't build that. Let alone if I were in the position McGill is in, who is essentially the guy who's running the country, who had no money, absolutely nothing. Of course, I would not do that. Okay? I would not do that. I would not do that. Why would I do that? I myself, no matter how rich I would be, or if I ever became very rich, I would not build that sort of mausoleum for me to be buried in. I'll probably build a pretty decent tomb, a vault to be buried in. Why should I have that? All I would want is a beautiful plot where I am buried. I want somewhere clean with some grass and some flowers, because I love flowers. That's all. Just bury me in a very nice tomb and put some grass around it, put some flowers around it, because I love flowers. That's it. That's it, Waka. It's finished. Let the money go to somebody who needs it. Yeah, why would I do that? That's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, people will say Costa being a hail of the states, and then he burying his mother in that low-level manner that people.
That's not their business. Nobody will say that. The reason nobody will say that is because what you call low-level manner. Everybody gets buried in a vault. I mean, you die, you die. You Muslims, how do you bury your people?
Just
you
one
bury
way.
your people in the simplest of ways. You don't even use casket, do you?
We use casket to carry the body to the.
And you take the body out and just put it in the hole, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm told Muslims bury all the people in the same fashion, whether you are rich, whether you're poor.
They seen casket.
The same box, they're not casket, box. I think it's a wooden box.
Yeah.
I see it, brother. You will put the body in it, wrap it nicely, put the body in it, take it to the grave, put the body in the hole, and finish with it. Isn't that what you Muslims do?
Sure.
Exactly. That's what you Muslims do. You don't go build vault. Go to a Muslim graveyard. You don't see vaults and mausoleums. That's nonsense. So, Baka, that's to answer your first question. I would not bury my mother in such a fashion. I wouldn't want to be buried in such a fashion, let alone my own, let alone my mother. Yeah, move on to the next subject, to the next question. You see, you got a couple of questions.
And let me just say finally, the issue about the public outcry, people are now talking about how McGill wastefully spend money on his mother grave. Now, you that have been with McGill for a long time, what do you think now? Do you think he's feeling bad, or do you think he no care about what librarians are saying?
He does not care. The Nantana McGill I know, he does not give a damn about what people are saying. All you people talking, the McGill that I know very, very well, he doesn't care. He'll be like, that boy talk. That Bennett. I bury my beloved mother the way I want to bury her. That's who McGill is. He does not give a damn. He does not give a damn. Move on to your next question. I know McGill very well.
Yeah, that just basically it. But the final one, do you think the president of the Republic of Liberia would take some actions? Like he be bringing
no action at all. George Weah himself does not care. Listen, this is the same Sanama Swan George Weah that we're talking about here, right? This is the guy that goes to France to attend a freaking virtual conference with 37 people. We got the list, we published the list. We knew about it, we were crying about it. Did he stop?
No.
Did he not go ahead with his 37 people delegation to attend a virtual conference? at which he did not even speak? Of course not. Weah didn't change his mind. All these guys are the same. The reason Miguel does what he does without having any care is because he knows Weah would do absolutely nothing to him. That's why he does that. So Miguel does not care. Weah does not give a damn. These son of a swines are just insensitive, but it's good for the Liberian people. You know, during the election, I told y'all, Jolobo and poison. I told you, I said, Joe Buckeye is the Jolobo because the Jolobo is a country medicine that is better, that you may not like to take, to drink, but it's got healing properties, healing medicinal properties. When you drink it, it will make you well, but it's better. You understand? Then I told you all that the CDC is poison. It may look appealing, it may look tantalizing, it may look very good, but when you take it, you will die. I told you all, and I remember, and that was one of the most famous, caricatures of the 2017 elections, Jolobo and poison. And many of you used to listen to the Costa Show. Most of you, as a matter of fact, that saying is still remembered today. Jolobo versus poison. Many of you used to call in and say, "Oh, I'll choose the poison. I rather die. I will choose the poison." Today, you are seeing what we said. We told you this is the poison. You said you were going to drink the poison. You didn't mind dying. That's what you're seeing today. I see you all be complaining. Oh, we're suffering. Oh, the people we get. Oh, the poor doing it. Oh. I told you one of the things I said to them during the election in 2017. I said, "Look, they said, oh, will you cuss that when Joe Win will deal with you?" My life has not changed for the worse since George Weah won the elections. In fact, I live a better life. When George Weah was not president, I actually live in a better place and have a better life now. It does not affect me. No matter how the country can get high, I will not suffer. I will not suffer. No matter how the way the country high, you see me suffering, and I can still help people and all. But you are the ordinary people who are the ones who are suffering. I used to tell you during the election time, you ain't listening to me. Hey, there's a George Weah, the president, you're suffering. I graduated from good school. I come and start my master's degree program next month. I live in a very good place, a very decent place. I got 3 bedrooms and all that kind of stuff there. I still driving my late nice old car. I'm not suffering. I wear my good clothing. You see me suffering? I used to tell you. They say, oh, that the man want the man get the country hard. And then I told you, Jolobo and poison. Today the ALC so poison. I knew George Weah. I knew we were not coming to do nothing for you. I told you, you're not listening to me. You say you want Joe Manawea. That Joe Manawea you're getting. Joe Manawea. You see me looking fresh. Every day looking fresh. That 124-year-old thing that making me fresh. Joe Manawea. That is so. That your country making the man look fresh. You see, Mario, you saw the suit the ball wearing yesterday. The ball looking fresh. That your country money made the man looking fresh. The man buried mine in a mausoleum. We don't see that one before. That is the best grave in the whole Republic of Liberia. We'll give it to McGill. The man will put him in Guinness Book of Record. So McGill doesn't care. But these people don't care. But it's sweet for the Liberian people. It's sweet for the Liberian people. I told y'all, you're not listening. Election coming, y'all go vote for them. Now they will bury that man in the sky. You don't see the big grave in the sky? They will build a grave in the sky. It will be hanging in the sky. You're not crying, yo. You're not crying, sir. You're not crying. Yo, cry. It was like 3 more years ago. Baka, go to the phone now. Let the people call, man. Let them call. Why Lola there? And Lola go on somebody call. They can't come back.
No, Lola just sent me a message. The message, there's a message. Sabbatical move, stay. In fact, I have retired from Liberian politics.
Oh, and Lola is saying I retire?
The man just sent me a message. In fact, he have retired from Liberian politics.
No, he might not retire. Let him come back. Like they to be calling Pedro, my man. Don't talk about CDC like that. Don't we get a country? Lolai, that you retire from CDC? Oh, yeah, come back. These animal swines, all they do is they care about themselves. That's all they do. They care about themselves. They don't love you. They don't care about you. I told y'all, you know, listen to me. Jolobo, if I buy, let's do Jolobo for the person that morning, man. I want to see which one will win. Jolobo versus poison. You tell them when you win. You tell them when you die.
Who the Jolobo now and who the poison?
My man, I still want to do my Jolobo for the poison back. Yeah. Jolobo versus poison. Open the phone line. I remember 2017. I used to do the thing. You know, I was reminded back in the day. Those guys used to be on the sidewalk. They would put a little box down, a little stool, and they would do the black card, red card, black card, red card. You didn't want to win. You didn't want to lose. One day, my old man sent me to the market. I was sure that day I was gonna win, my man. Can you imagine? I came at 12 pounds, walked from 12 pounds to Twala Market to buy our food bean. That day I was playing. I said, when I go today, I will play that black card. I will catch those guys. I finished honestly the whole game. Picking, forget the minute pull that thing down. Black out worker, black out worker, black out worker. They can see them doing the car. Black out worker, black out worker. You didn't want to lose. You didn't want to lose. Then they will take the car and show you how. You didn't. I said, I catch him. When they got put a beat down, I put all my money, the market money. My mama gave me the food money to go buy the food. Piggy, I go pick the car. I was sure that the red car pick. So I pick the car, my man, the blank car pick. Huh?
Fire coin your eye. Eh?
Fire coin my elbow. Weird. Because you know what fire coin my elbow? That they flog him. Oh my going to flog me. Now I made a fire coin my elbow.
Take out from my name.
Huh? Why I'm going to tell my mom? Picking. Black out wega, black out wega, black out. Let us see where series and fire going on. Joey are waste out there. Let's go to the phone line. Lord, I talk about you retire. Don't retire. Come back. Your man and you retire. Come back to party. What's up with Joey? Joey is a wicked son of a swine. That boy does not love anybody. He fool y'all. The man fool y'all. The man fool y'all. He love you. Then they say, oh, the man humble. Because his eyes were broke. He never had nothing. Fusa. That's why he was humble. He was broke. Today, Joey is humble today. That humble man can be flying private jet where people can eat. That humble man can be giving a girlfriend Jackie appear all up playing the money while you're Sidishan and suffering. Joey and I open one vocational training program for Sidishan. Nothing. Black out worker, black out worker, black out worker. You didn't want to lose. You didn't want to win. We are. Eva. Let's go to the phone line. Damn, Solomon Swan. Yo, over Joey. 2023 coming. 24 years. You can hear that talking 24 years. You know, from when they kill the power nearly purple strong. Now they can say purple strong. No more purple strong. It's a purple strong. Friday they say 24 years. Now they can say then the one that 12 years. Now they can say 6 years. Son what my Java
call the money, man. My people are calling me.
It's a call Mike. The morning begin. Open the phone line, call man. Black out worker. You tell them when you lose, you tell them when you win. Black out worker. Salama Swan. Proper strong.
0770-102-102-086.
Your license. Business Evangeline Mamita wants me to do this as a happy birthday treat for her friend and sister Zia Ga, Madam Zia Ga. You turned 52 years of age today. From Des Moines, Iowa. Your friend Evangeline Mamita wants me to do this for you today as your birthday. My friend and brother Nana M. Ransford, I dedicate this edition of the show to you today. Nana M. Ransford, you in Liberia currently. Happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. We're gonna go back to the phone lines and we're gonna take calls. Let's take calls.
And our brother DJ Lomer, today is DJ Lomer birthday, so we say happy birthday to you.
Yeah, DJ Lomer, happy birthday to you. Let's go to the lines, brother. Let's take some calls there.
Yeah, 0770-102-106-010383 555.
Blackout. Begin. I will lose all my money. The full
WhatsApp
money.
number is +231 888 Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, name you calling us from?
I'm coming from Brazil. It's Bacay.
Welcome. My man, that will take Mr. Valley on this line. Good morning.
Good morning, Bacay. Good morning, Costa.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. When I saw that video yesterday, I know I'm a Muslim, but it gave me the matter to go and take that casket and set it. I carry it to the funeral home, to the orphanage home. I leave the blind people, the disabled, so I can share that money with them. But they were so blessed that they forget they pray with Anna. Somebody get me to get that casket from them. Go tell them.
Security there, one bedroom apartment.
Somebody living there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My girl used to live in the swamp. Right there. Opposite Roland Duo compound there, right on what the place is there?
The Boulevard.
Yeah, SKD Boulevard. The frog in our Maggie house, our neighbor there. Maggie can tell you when you hear frog, you know what a spring frog talking, what a bullfrog talking, what a cockroach frog. Maggie know all the frog and noises. That the man there today is building whole house for a man to bury in. Let's say more calls there. But you go see the casket, who about that casket in that, bro? That casket at 30,000 US.
Charles Robert, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Bacay. Good morning to Henry.
Morning to you, Charlie.
Yeah, happy 26 to the Labrador people and the platform and our listeners. But again, the people who want to claim it, we are heartless, we are insensitive to people's feelings. But any way you want to claim it that way. My name is Charles Ramos. If my girl and his family expect me to be in sympathy with them because of the loss of their mother, they cannot be irritating my and making mockery out of my property, my way of life. Not only we know that they are stealing all of our money to enrich themselves. Okay, somebody died. My mother died 10 years ago. And and every time I think about her, even though I have money now, but I think that she should still be around me buying her one cigarette after I beg to her. And you know what I mean? So everybody got feelings. I stop feeling for your mother. But when man get it, he did nothing for me. They call sympathy.
Charles, I saw a post from the finance minister. The finance minister saying that we shouldn't politicize everything in Liberia, most especially the death of Somali mother. It shouldn't be politicized. What do you make of that?
We're not politicizing the death. We are politicizing the way we bury the opulence.
You stealing our money and you spend it before our eyes in burying your mother and putting it in the ground that way. That tomb, I don't get Mausoleum. And constantly when you learn how to pronounce it, for me it's a spring one for me, so there will be a tongue twister in pronouncing it. The Mausoleum that was being constructed in my sister's house. I cannot afford $40 for a rent a month. Somebody put it down somewhere and they put it security and they mine it. And so one thing that when I pass that era, anytime I just say, oh man, this is where mother, my dear mother lied. No, anytime I pass, I get angry and want to get out and even break into it. That's what I want to do. And even if I want to tell them, I will put it and break into it.
Charlie, we are socially distancing, so the man doing his mother do have to socially distance herself from other people.
Right, crazy. All right, Brian, let's take another call. Isaac, welcome.
Okay, Charlie, thank you so much. Let's take Noah Zahu Gibbs before we cross over to Big Brother Isaac. Good morning, Noah. Noah, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, leader. And good morning to the rest of the world, including our diaspora audience in the diaspora. My name is Noah Zahu Gibson, and I'm phoning in from Pinsville, Jefferson, District Number 2, right around the Sinabono Mansion. Look, leader, to be honest with you, it is not the death that we are political parties. What we are talking here is the way, the form and manner in which this woman was buried. And I think it's wrong. Completely wrong. You're telling the labyrinth 50,000. Right now, leader, as I speak to you, I work with the Senate. We haven't taken pay for 26. Today is Friday. We got 2 days to 26. And I can't even tell you how my family and myself are eating for Monday. We haven't taken pay yet, and they begun paying some of the executive people, but for us at the Senate, they say to hell with us. Then you're talking about 30,000. When my salary is less than $300 US, less than $300, including the labyrinth dollar component, everything out there is less than $300. But we haven't taken pay yet. But I want to give you this information before I leave the line, leader. I just sorry if you're in contact with Joy FN, ask them to send the audio to you. Look, you will laugh retire. It coincided with what you're discussing this morning. Jefferson Koji said men to Arsenal Street, they have some used car dealing area there. They went and broke the people used car area down. Most of the men there were physicians. Can't hear the men crying on the radio morning. In fact, they want to be better. It's feeling now. I'm tired with it. And I didn't want to eat. No go. I go into the house now. I said, no, but you let something now. The time first time behind you go behind the house, you let something. He said, yeah, but first of all, the coming. I want them. We're getting one thing. If I said, wait, bring the PDC teacher here, bring it here. Bring the gas, put it down, Joe. We have to. Put it on, Joe. We have to. That's when we start with it for me. It's funny. I got all 4 children. Then you just tell me I'm a woman. You car there for you.
Okay.
Why the full car there? Why the full car there? So,
all right, Noah.
Hell with that right now. Right?
Thank you so much. Texas Evangeline Mamita.
Let's take some more calls there, and Isaac will come in. Isaac, you can jump in at any time, of course.
Good morning.
Martin Clark King, today is your birthday. I want to say happy birthday to you as well. Martin Clark King, one of our strong supporters. Happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. Let's take some more calls there.
Go ahead, mommy. You're live.
Good morning to you, and thank you for wishing my sister happy birthday. We are not politicizing my dear mother death, or we excited about somebody being dead. What we're talking about, this McGill opened his mouth the other day and telling us in the diaspora to come and help Liberia with all the COVID virus that going on. You say they don't have money. We are calling to where he went to France to talk to the white people for money, going all around the world begging. But then you're taking the little money that we have and burying your mom with gold cafe. You have receptacle, Wi-Fi, and everything caught in it. That rampant corruption. If it were other country, McGill would be in jail in a minute. But because we doesn't have no moral ground either, that's what, and they opened it, he closed his mouth. This morning they went after somebody and arrested him or put on passage. But then your state ministers corrupting. You came to America the other day talking to the American people. They gave you ultimatum to go home. And this is what you're doing. And even on Twitter. Like somebody posted it on there. So your country is poor like that. You asking for the international community for help. But then this is what you're doing.
Yep. All right, man. Thank you very much. Baga, let's take 3 more calls. We're gonna come back to Isaac via Tukpa. We're gonna come back and Isaac can jump in, but let's take 3 more calls there.
All right, let's take somebody from this line. Good morning.
Good morning, Reverend Pedro Costa, and Mr. Good morning to you, brother.
Good morning to you. Wow, go to bien.
Yes, my hero. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, my brother. I'm doing well. Welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Pedro. You know, Pedro, there's a proverb that says you cannot send a little boy under the rain to go and get in fire. That little boy will not know how to protect that fire. And that's what we have done with the Liberian people. We took our country and gave it to these little boys and girls who believe in extravagance and flamboyancy. So this is how they are running our country today. Can you imagine someone who is living with 2 cars and spring cars can build a mansion for his mother burial today? Can you imagine that? The level of James Emmanuel Potter buying a luxurious car for girlfriend. The level of Akara Sugo. You know, Pedro, so these are things that they are doing to us. And you know, when you used to talk about the Kujorobo and the poison, for me, I took Kujorobo ever since. So other people decide to do the poison, and today we are expressing it. And that poison, we have already done that poison. So Pedro will continue to go through a suffering until 2023 so that the people can be liberated. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. We're going to be in one more call there. We'll come. Larry, morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's take one more call. So we had a royal wedding, and then we had a royal burial. You know, that burial yesterday should make the Guinness Book of Records. Now, when V.S. Tubman, with all his penchant for opulence and pageantry and pomp and pageantry, was not buried in that manner. I stand corrected. There's nobody in Liberia who was ever buried in the manner in which McGill's mother was buried.
Let's take our last one, then we'll cross over.
I think, do you know anybody who was buried in a...
Not even half of that.
Let's just take it across over to people as good morning, DJ Lomé.
Good morning, Baka. Good morning to Henry Pedro Costa, and good morning to our brother Alfred Fatuba. Look, I want to say to the physician, this is why we were telling you people, but you're not listening. In fact, the men will rule for 30 years. So send your fee. We feel look for someone Costa. Let me say, thank God for someone in the States that can look down to us, and thank God for the Almighty God helping us. We may stay there for 30 years. We will still live because some of us put our hand to work. But some of you that can be saying now, the attack for whole day, people strong, boy, you're just jealous in the ball. This is the time for you to see it. That man, I go can say, you see what the man have done? He pay a place and pay one room apartment. Case security guy to be mine. He damn mother, that woman, I own nothing to do on planet everything. But
DJ Lomé, les mains implore another sedition and to Mali Oma Bali.
Will be eating. So 2 million or 1 million people, then 1 person eating. Yeah, right. Me, I never national market day. In fact, if any close struggle down there for people gathering yesterday, other people want to justify the man that national market one love the more money anybody. It is some people love the father or the mother that died, they transform a man, and today they stay away and they just look the burying the mother on the other side. Then somebody tell me say the woman gets so many children, this and that. All that children were there, but when my kid is stealing from this country, CEO,
thank you.
We pay for it this morning.
Thank you. Happy birthday, my brother.
DJ Lomé, happy birthday to you, my dear brother, our dear brother, that DJ Lomé. No, but I too. Somebody is employed. Larry, you always talk about job numbers and all that kind of thing. We just got one job added to the.
Man, Black Eye Camara, you're wrong for that one, man. You're wrong. Man, I tell you, good morning, Henry, Black Eye, and my dear brother, Ivan. I see. This is why people need to pay attention when people are running for office, because. And people have said it. Elections have consequences. Elections have consequences. You put the wrong person there, you will suffer. You see, in the past, it was easy to lie to the Liberian people because you didn't have social media at the level it is right now. Because Derek Taylor beat them simply by putting the truth out there in terms of on social media. He showed a lot of the stuff that we're doing wrong, and a lot of people, not just him alone, but a lot of people went out there and started showing these videos, including the one you published the other day. But people now are starting to see these things with their own two eyes. The economy has gone down. They haven't created any new jobs. The country, you see, I always hear seditionists argue that they inherited a broke economy. The economy, it wasn't broke. They had almost 400 million or so, right? But now they are bankrupting the economy because they are spending that money. They're not creating any new income revenue. They're bankrupting the country right now. And it's going to get even worse with COVID-19, you know? So yeah, you know, one new job it's not going to help.
But anyway,
thousands of jobs.
Isaac, let me just circle with you. Thank you so much, Larry. Isaac, that job is a lifetime job though, because the woman will be there forever. So that job, that secure job, they can't find another person. What do you look at that?
They gotta pay him.
Yeah, I know, but
well, by the time I get other power, I ain't paying for day by I know my I know follow.
You have another protester.
I know follow without pay. Once he get out of that job, free money not there, follow without pay. You know that kind of stuff can really piss people off, man. Or you know, a broker before he got in that position, and anybody who in CDC USA, forget all the other people, they know how broke McGill was, how broke Joey was before they came to power. For these excesses to be encouraged, or for them to even sit anywhere near it and condone it or try to give some kind of stupid defense of a God say the poor that poor and the poor will always be there, or you know, graveyard tourism coming, and some of the stupidity I've been seeing in defense of McGill horrific act, because that stuff just horrifying. There's no other explanation for it but pure and utter stupidity, you know. So at what point do people wake up and say the reflection of what we are doing is so horrible and unacceptable and distasteful to people? We need to turn this thing around some kind of way and be able to be at least respectable or presentable in how we govern. I can't understand how they can turn a blind eye to everything. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I would be shocked. I would be shocked if they were to get reelected. The only way to get reelected, unless the opposition shoot themselves in the foot, right? Unless they go out of their way.
The opposition amputate both of their legs. The Liberian people elect these guys who have vilified them, destroy our economy. I mean, look, when you hear some of the seditionists who are insider talk about McGill and Weah and Twet, you know, you feel real sad. You feel really sad for them.
People of Ava, I want to ask you this question. Well, there's some of the when you are there with them, you been part of the USA team in the CDC before. Those are where you got planning such a thing that let's do it at this. Let's go with let's get power and start behaving to the Liberian people like this. Were there some of the things that were running through your mind, or you as an individual, you had different things in mind now you were coming with as a government to turn things around? Because what's happening now,
collective. If this was all happening then, I would not have been a member of the CDC. I'll tell you straight. Collectively, we're never thinking along these lines. It was about making a difference, about change, about, you know, all the different things that I still talking about today, but obviously most of the people in power don't. The first inkling I had that something may have gone wrong or may go wrong was, I think I was it in my house or was somewhere with John Malu, me, John Malu, Aziz Aulo, McGee and everything, and McGee made some comments that when we come to power, it will be our time to eat. And we all look at him in shock. We should be coming to make a difference for people in terms of our time to eat. So that's just that philosophy that McGee had from the very beginning that we just never recognized, and we're there trying to make a difference, trying to point out the issues, you know, trying to convince people that the CDC was really a revolution. wanted to move the country forward, wanted to make a difference for every Liberian, provide an opportunity so every Liberian can be able to have an affordable living. That was the goal, and that's still my goal today. Unfortunately, it was not the goal of the people who were to ascend to power as we have seen today. Not at all.
You see, let me just come in there. You see, guys, I always say this, and some people disagree with me, but they are wrong. I know I am not wrong. These things only happen if the one man who is the president is corrupt himself or herself. If the president is not corrupt, if the president fights corruption, discourages it, punishes people who commit acts of corruption, such things would not happen. If the president himself is not opulent, is not callously insensitive, is not reckless, such things would not happen. But because we have someone who flies private jet every single time he flies, large useless delegations, wasteful spending, building mansions himself, what do you think the rest of the guys will do, Larry? They will do exactly this.
They will follow suit, limited way or not. Sorry, Larry, go ahead.
No. But so let's kind of qualify that statement a little bit more, because it will happen, but it may not be at the level that is happening right now. And because if that president puts his or her foot down and grab the first person, you see, you need someone to set an example on. It's plain and simple. If you don't grab someone at a very high level and set an example, no one else will fall in line.
Larry,
so yeah, but Larry, how can you set an example when you yourself are doing the thing?
Man, when you president, Henry. Honestly, in my mind, I know Joya led good things. Back then, I knew that if he comes to power, or I thought that when he comes to power, it will not be free for all eating, because Joya is like a competitive person as well. He want everybody to be all right. He want to be on the top. My perception was that we will not be perfect. Things will happen, but we will not allow everybody, the kind of rampant corruption we see today, where everybody just doing their own thing, they kind of break down.
But Isaac, where is that competitive nature, right? If he's competitive,
I
he's
think
losing.
He means for his football, from his athletic background.
Yeah, but I know, but he's losing right now in terms of governance. Where is that competitive nature to change the players?
That's where the narcissism comes in, where the delusion comes in, and he doesn't believe people are thinking anything. You see, there are two sides to these kind of mindsets. When you're failing, you don't accept that you're failing. You don't see it. You don't want to recognize it. And when you are not receptive to criticism or to input from other people, that when you think one way that was supposed to be the way, then that's the situation. But I don't know what kind of reversal he can do right now.
No, it's not possible. I always said this about George Weah. To be a leader, it's not about who you have around you. You yourself must have a certain degree of competence and capabilities to be able to make good decisions, to be able to listen to pieces of advice from many people and decipher which one to go with, and to have original thought, the original capability to make decisions on your own before being able to rely on people to make decisions for you. George Weah is bereft of any of those capabilities. This is a man who cannot even read. This is a man who cannot speak simple basic grammar. This is a man who does not understand simple supply and demand economic theory. How can such a man govern a whole country, Larry? It's just simple.
No, man, I think that particular day when the man was explaining economics, I think he was child labor.
My man, when rest is expensive, you do the rest of that go.
But look at when he spoke at the UN, people they didn't listen to exactly what he was saying. They were only trying to see how many mistakes he would make. And when he got through with it, people are kind of it's bizarre. Never seen this before. People are excited that the president was able to speak without making a whole lot of mistakes. That's how you measure. That's how
you see
measure.
that video when the man walking out, you see a swag, he was attending Calasco. Calasco is here. I dealt with it. I get it. And what? 15 out of 15. I dealt with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 out of 15. Oh, yeah, you see it? This man just gave a speech and he's talking as though he had just scored a goal. He had just scored a hat trick. You know, so this is the kind of guy we got, my man. But you see, Isaac, you know, again, back to Isaac, back to your point. I mean, even we knew the guy was not smart and all of that, but Isaac, come on, man. The guy's on social media, for Christ's sake. He reads what people write. He reads the criticisms. He sees the disgust, the disgruntlement.
If you just look at superficial exposure, George Weah is one of the most exposed, most traveled Liberians than anybody.
True, my man. Name one Liberian who has traveled more than George Weah.
I don't think anybody.
Name one Liberian who has been exposed to sophisticated people from all over the world than George Weah.
You know, so that little thing that came across the screen when the person said George Weah fool me, that one part I can accept it. I never expected George Weah to be like where he is today. I can accept when I'm wrong. I'm not perfect.
I agree.
If it was a plot that they planned, they really executed like correctly. They executed it correctly, where there were many of us who had no idea that this direction was going to be the direction of a CDC government at all. Many. So,
but there's so many people like you, Isaac, who came in from the start, and they're still there. There are still people who you see on social media posting and they're still supporting it.
I don't know if they like me though. Because
you know, not in terms of understanding.
One, my position was clear. Yeah. I was there for the Liberian people. I'm not a hero worshiper. It's just never been my nature to be a hero.
I know that. I mean,
what's keeping other people there right now? I'm sorry.
Maybe that's shame. Maybe that's shame, or they can't accept that they made a wrong decision.
That's a good question, Larry. And I'm going to try to answer that question because you see.
What do you got?
Because Henry was part of the people who got full living. Oh, go ahead.
No, but I left long time, man. You know that one. I wouldn't say that nonsense. I left in 2012. But hey, Larry, you asked a brilliant question. Why are some people still there? The people who left are the real patriots. Are the people who were led to believe that, yes, we know his shortcomings, but at least we think that he would try to do good. That's the likes of Isaac. And they were really fooled. I mean, you know. Yeah. But they care about the country. They saw CDC as a vehicle. Isaac and I used to have that conversation. In fact, we used to be three, me, him, and George Fambolet. And I'll be like, my man, Isaac, because I was on the ground more than Isaac. Isaac was running the CDC here in America. I'll be like, man, Isaac, I ain't lay up in it. Because is it a reason? And just to Isaac's defense, whenever people come upon him and try to, you know, castigate him, Isaac was not in CDC for George Weah. Isaac saw CDC as this powerful grassroots movement where, for the first time, a movement had sprung into existence that the ordinary people gravitated toward, and it was a powerful force for good. That's how he saw CDC. But I always tell Isaac, yes, I agree with you. CDC is that and all, right? Which is why some of us admire it. But Joey sits on top of that powerful grassroots movement, and he does not share in the ideology you have. The reason, to go back to your question, Larry, why people are still there. Two. Number one, play on the machine. The other ones, the ones that are enjoying, they're not ashamed. They don't just give a damn about the country. Once they are doing personally okay, to hell with everybody else.
That's true. Thank you.
That's it, Larry.
And you see them on social media not even discussing the issues. They're wearing their new outfit. They're showing the cars they're buying. Yep. They're showing they're flying overseas and they're walking down the streets of New York, or they're over in another country. So it's kind of interesting. When you see these people from 2012, 2013, 14, they were always out on the radio. They were arguing against the Unity Party. You know, I don't want to start dropping some of their names, but now when I see them on social media, they're showing their new outfits. It's completely different. In all of that, the number of children that die before they hit the age 5 hasn't changed. It's gotten worse. The number of women dying before they can give birth hasn't changed. It's gotten worse. The life expectancy in the country is still poor. The healthcare system sucks. How can you talk about tourism when you don't have very good healthcare system? You remember that, what's her name? I think it was Naomi, the American actress who was in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and she broke her leg. And you saw how she struggled to get out of the jungle. You want to talk about people coming to visit your country, you need decent healthcare system. You can't start flying your people out of the country for a healthcare system while the poor people stay in the country and die. That's nonsense. So these people who are still in there, and now I'm seeing people posting fake information or false information saying the economy is doing good. Say the economy, the inflation rate was around 27%. They're now beating it down to single digits. That's a flat out lie. The first quarter of this year, the first 3 months of this year, the country has posted a negative, negative revenue. In fact, they have a $45 million deficit. Yeah.
Just do a price comparison. Price like earlier this year to price today.
Inflation hasn't. You cannot take credit for messing up the economy. Then you're trying to bring it back to where you met it, and you're saying, "Oh, I'm doing great." No, you haven't done anything good yet. You met the economy at maybe around 12% or so inflation. You have it around 17%, and you want to take credit because you brought it down from nearly 30%. That's nonsense. So the people who are in there right now, I want to see the argument. I want to see the argument that they have done something better. They don't have an argument. And that's why when I see, my man, I don't want to get too much into my man, Sam Jackson, but now he's trying to bring tribalism into the conversation. That's because you don't have any decent argument. You cannot argue on the economy. You cannot argue on job creation. You can't argue they're wasting so much money. Then you're still going around begging for money. So
you gave Sam Jackson money, period.
Yeah.
That's why he supports him.
So now you will start talking tribalism because you have nothing else to fall back on?
Larry, just to piggyback off of that. Absolute idiots are the ones who will do that. Oh, the man! The other day I heard Sam say this stupid thing, and you know what makes it what vexes me about him. I know the real reason why he supports them because they give him money, and then he tries to make the argument that the fact that this is the first native born to come to power. Whenever the native people come to power, they come up with one thing out of power. They maneuver elite and blah blah blah. It's just pure nonsense. So I just put a big thing between me and Sam. But let's not even waste our time on him. The old man got one foot in the grave. But guys, yeah, we are. Tomorrow we're gonna be hosting a fundraiser to raise some money to help these Liberians, very good people who have raised secured in donation $1 million in medical equipment and supplies. The casket. Did you guys see the casket? Isaac, Larry.
Maybe
the casket.
Yeah.
Maybe that they're polished gold.
No. Isaac, you know why I don't believe it's just polished gold or just spray paint? Here is why. If the man could build that kind of mausoleum, right? Bring it
on the casket, yeah.
Exactly. Then he will not go mess it up with a casket, my man.
But then again, Morgan has a percentage in nearly every kind of gold claim or concession out there too. So if possible, they could put all the gold pieces together to create that gold casket.
My man, that casket. So what I did is I looked it up. I just look at gold caskets,
right.
Ones that look like that. So this is not really empirical, right? Because I don't know the brand, I don't know the specs. But that casket would go for nothing less than $30,000 from what I saw online.
So they had to fly that casket in?
I'm sure they did. They don't sell that kind of casket in Liberia.
No, I don't think they sell in Liberia.
Who's even bronze casket not in Liberia? That casket is more expensive than bronze casket.
So,
my man, but when you saw somebody build living quarters for the caretaker of a grave, quarters.
That is part of the end of the video. Oh, yeah, one room there. Man, this thing can sometimes that kind of stuff can trigger all kind of reaction from people, and you don't know where it's coming from. It's scary. It's scary how this could set some people off, like somebody who been defending the nonsense, and all of a
crazy guys.
And then they go ask and pay for $5 or $500 Liberian dollars, and somebody say no, they could go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But hey guys, don't they have some conscience left? Don't they? Nothing at all?
At this point, I don't think it's about conscience anymore. It's about IDGAF and I'll do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's where it's at.
They don't care. They don't care because no one can take action against them. You know, no one would. No, I mean, the only thing that has ever happened was one of the largest protests that happened over a year ago. But other than that, they don't care. I mean, who's going to stop them?
That's the only thing that scared them. The June 7 protest is the one thing that scared them.
Did you guys see the video with the economic freedom fighters?
The one in South Africa. I haven't watched it.
No, the one in Liberia.
What did they do?
They locked the capital. They were fighting with the security there and put a lock on the gate.
I saw the locking chain. Yeah. I saw a picture of it. Yeah.
You know, and it was like 10 minutes. But my thing is, there was not even a response from police to even come on the scene to do something. And that thing could have turned physical or violent or something. And that's not what we want. You know, maybe that's what some people think is a solution, but that's not what we want in terms of that kind of destabilization to that level.
Yeah, but Larry, but Isaac, when you keep pushing people, you keep aggravating them, you keep, like you said, I don't give a whatever. It gets to a point where they feel the need to, or they can't take it no more.
Right.
People can take only so much. And we don't want that. The provocation is just too much, guys.
It is too much.
And it is inevitable, because if you ask somebody right now who is hungry, who is starving, that person will be willing to commit a crime to feed themselves. But then when that person see that government officials are stealing in broad daylight, they would be incentivized to do it. Because first they would go and look at some of the civil service not even getting paid. They would be incentivized to protest. You saw the people that lining up the buses in front of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, right? People will protest when they are hungry, and you always hear the adage.
The bubbles are bulging in different directions right now.
Exactly. Look around the world. Look at Haiti. Nobody won what happened to the Haitian president, but 2 years ago, there were people protesting in front of the American embassy saying this guy was evil. They were burning tires. They were destroying stuff. They were protesting because the economy was hard. And rather than fix the economy, he was bringing the police and beating the people down when they protest.
That's why I don't feel sorry for that guy being assassinated, guys. I don't. I'm sorry.
Criminals. He was bringing criminals to.
I don't. Because, but now when they're beating people down, like, people got killed.
People got killed. I didn't feel.
But is his life more important than the people whose life he caught shot? I don't feel sorry for that guy at all.
But where's the location? Africa. Where's the location of the grave? Where's the location?
Why did they build a grave, brother?
No. I know the people who did that.
My man, you know what I think, guys? That is not a graveyard. It's not a cemetery.
That's what I was asking. What is the zoning on burying human being?
It's not a cemetery, but they made big house. They made a big grave. Larry. So you get them a zoning for burying human beings. But when you can buy your own land, put it in fence, build a house, and put a casket in the land.
But Pedro, how does it look? Isaac, how does it look when you build a structure like that? And then when you come 5 minutes out of your structure, you see people living in shacks, people living in zinc houses with leaking roof. How does it look?
Where the casket right in there costs about $30,000 US.
And it would take $10,000 to give these people in decent housing. It looks bad.
Look at Sam Jackson.
Did you read Sam Jackson comment? No, I would like to hear from Sam Jackson.
Bring Sam Jackson on. Sam Jackson, come on.
Let Sam Jackson tell her what he
come
makes
on, so you can understand why I'm calling your name. Are you stupid? You think I can call your name and I won't call it? You think I won't get told Sam?
Exactly. Yeah. I said, let Sam Jackson call you, but I don't want him to call me. Let him call you. Sam Jackson, you were calling me just now. If you want to talk, call Baka, and Baka will pass you through. And you can talk to me and Isaac and Larry.
What did he say? I'm looking for it.
He said, why we mention his name in the mausoleum thing. Also, you know that mausoleum. At least he admits that he made Miguel build a mausoleum for him, man. At least he admits that. Oh, they said it was building Magibi. Somebody just told me that. Yeah, so that way they built it in what the place called Disco Hill on Ralphie Highway. Disco Hill. That's where they built it. So it is not a graveyard, guys. It is not a graveyard. He bought the land. But guys, look at the time he took to do all of this and bringing Ghanaian contractors from to do this.
Wait, Pedro, hold on. Are you telling me, say, they brought foreign contractors to make Ghanaian contractors become spectators again? So Okay, so we're still perpetrating the spectator in the economy scenario. Okay, I see.
Yeah, they brought Ghanaian citizens are not good enough to build it, but they were not good enough to mind about it after they finish building.
You know, they kind of finishing. Again, well, most of our craftsmen are not retreating.
No, they're not good. No, to be honest, I can understand. Liberian contractors, most of them, not all, especially the ones that are recently trained, right? My man, they gotta get built for okay, I'm sorry, but they gotta see, my man. But you don't see that finishing the roof. You didn't see that roof of the mausoleum. The roof looks decent. The walls, those pillars, they have those columns. You saw the columns? How those columns look very neat. Then that artwork with the angel, you see in a Liberian man are gonna be crooked. They were gonna be looking all kind of way. So that is what they did. They did bring the engineers from Ghana to do the construction. And that must have cost a lot of money because, guys, this is in 2 weeks, guys. Listen, this is in 2 weeks. To build that sort of stuff in 2 weeks and to be able to fly in the people, it will cost extra money just to do all of that. But hey, when Sam Jackson calls you, pass him through, let D-Way in. We will want to hear from Sam Jackson. What does he make of that expensive mausoleum? And guess what? They say electricity will be so that cemetery, that particular mausoleum has a maintenance cost. Electricity will be running in that place. And
electricity, you gotta pay the man there. You gotta feed him.
Yeah, then you gotta be painting the place. What?
That's huge upkeep. But like somebody said, as soon as the government get out of power, it will lay in rooms.
Yeah.
I wanna hear even pay electric bill and he would get it for free.
No, that place
That's another issue.
electricity doesn't the thing doesn't reach there. So what they do is that they brought they have a generator. You know, it's just sad. But okay, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's take a few more calls. You're listening to the Costa Show. Today's Friday, the 23rd of July, 2021. The time
Sam Jackson calling me. Sam, what you say?
What's Sam Jackson on?
I'll say, what is your obsession? You and Costa with me? What I gotta do with the man, my mausoleum?
We don't have no obsession with you, Sam. We have an issue with your idiocy or supporting nonsense.
Answer my question.
I tell you, I don't have an obsession with you. I have a problem. I have a problem with you trying to change the narrative to support stupidity. That's what I have a problem with. But I'm answering your question.
I'm asking what he makes of the mausoleum. And
what do you make of the mausoleum, Sam? They're asking you a simple question now. What? Don't stutter.
Let me ask you a question. Who the F are you to call me and ask me what I make about the mausoleum?
Sam, don't be stupid. You call me. You call me.
Tell Sam he's live on the air. Tell Sam he's live on the air.
I said, let our man answer that question.
What your question again, Henry?
What does it make of the mausoleum?
Sam, what do you make of the mausoleum?
What are you calling my name for?
What do you make of the mausoleum? Sam, what do you make of? Stop acting like a little child but calling your name, man. You're not baby. We can call your name anytime. Sam, get out of here.
He post there tagging you.
Every post you do, you tag me.
Exactly.
Every post you do, you tag me. Do I cry on you for calling my name or tag me to your post?
But y'all call my name on your program.
Yeah, we'll call your name.
You can call your name any day. And you are progressive. You can call your name any day. Sam,
he's a public commentator.
This is patent nonsense.
Sam, what do you make of the mausoleum?
You answer that question.
Sam, Sam, what do you make of the mausoleum? Sam, what do you make of the mausoleum? Why do you say you don't got opinion? The great Sam Jackson does not have an opinion? Are you crazy?
You think I have an opinion?
Yes, you do. You have an opinion on everything. Don't abdicate your role. You carve, you design, you frame the national conversation. What do you think about it? That nonsense. I'm being honest. You do.
No, I don't have an opinion.
When it comes, no, I will respect you, Sam. I'll respect you when it comes to some technical things that you have no idea about. You can say it. On this particular general topic of the mausoleum, you have a topic. I mean, you have an opinion. What is your point? What is your opinion?
Why are you
forcing me? Why are you forcing me to have an opinion on an issue?
Because
Sam, you got opinion on everything.
Because
so why you got opinion on this one? This is a trending national issue. You are a public commentator.
Despite your recent criticism of your long-term criticism, you have shifted totally to support this government. So are you supporting this other behavior? That's what I'm asking you.
But what I'm saying is, so if a man builds a mausoleum for his mom, you must come and call me a private citizen to ask me my opinion.
You're not private citizen in that sense of the word. You private citizen before you have a whole press comment to endorse somebody?
You are not just a private citizen, Sam.
You private citizen? Why you gotta go on from one radio station to another radio station to say you endorse we are for his second term?
But what position am I have in the government since chapter 11?
Public figure doesn't mean you are a public servant. Public figure is different. You are a public figure, Sam.
Sam, you are a public. You are a public commentator. You are a public intellectual. We want to know your opinion on this issue.
Sam, you are one of the voices. We are asking you, what is your opinion on this particular topic?
Well, if I don't want to, this is democracy, though, because this is a democracy with all my freedom of speech. And you are asking me to get.
Now you want to exercise freedom of speech?
We're not depriving your freedom of speech. We are not depriving your freedom of speech. We are asking your opinion.
From my vantage point, I'm saying I don't have an opinion on this particular issue.
But Sam, now you are being disingenuous, Sam, that you will not have an opinion on this issue or national issue. When other the left side, you can always come with your commentary. Oh, so you say that particular action is not insignificant? It's very insignificant.
I'm saying it's extraneous to the development of the country.
No. There are many things. I can go to your post, Sam, and find numerous things that are extraneous to the development of the country that you have commented on. Because some things.
Name one.
Isaac.
You used to complain about George we are flying private jet.
Ask Sam, why was the people named on the board for Cummings Foundation important to the optics in the country? But the optics
Sam get a big issue.
Diversity.
Sam, hold on,
how
Sam.
that impacted people?
Now you got opinion. I'm gonna call you out now because I don't hear the nonsense you come and say.
I said, Dad, let him wait. Let's ask him Larry's question.
He's running for the presidency of Liberia.
And we are in a minister of state and not running the country.
Sam, look at the nonsense you're talking. Miguel says by the president. He's a reflection of the president. Everything. No, I can't give you no chance for stupidity. Second, he gave me any day he knows you're losing.
Sam went and wrote a whole post, several posts, as a matter of fact. If I lie that every member of Cummings of the board of the Cummings Africa Foundation is a Congo person,
yes,
which is a bloody lie. To the extent where Sam looked at a Bidel, a typical Gribble name, Bidel, and said the Bidel that Congo man. That's how disingenuous Sam Jackson is. Just trying to mudsling Alex Cummings. That is seeing Sam Jackson got over that. So that one there is extraneous to the group of the country.
Yeah.
Cummings in a private charity foundation. But McGill, who essentially runs the state, builds a mausoleum for his mother in the face of a serious economic trouble in the country, and Sam doesn't say that one there ain't nothing.
Yeah, so you have a private foundation where the man is using his own funds, right?
You're not using government money.
You're not using government money to help people, and you worry about the name, saying that it, the way it look for your people in the interior.
So when Sam talk that kind of stupid thing, what about the Lebanese people, the Indian people who are bringing Indians and Lebanese to be cash register operators? How is that? Those kind of things that affect national development. He doesn't talk about.
They are private citizens. They're not even business.
But that's the strategy when people don't have any legitimate thing to discuss with it, anything to support, any factual evidence to support the government, meaning the economy is doing poorly, the healthcare system, when everything else is doing terrible, you start falling to tribalism. But tribalism is not going to work because the people now are being educated. The people are feeling the pain.
I mean, the people realize that it's primarily. I'm not saying that all some of the things didn't happen before, and people haven't handed the stories down. People don't carry some negative emotions. Right. But a lot of people are recognizing that it's a class system issue. The people who are in power, abuse them.
Plain and simple. It has nothing to do with your name. It has nothing to do with your tribe. It has nothing to do with your ethnicity. Since
those in power. That's all.
That's it. Since the coup d'etat, the entire country has changed. It has completely changed. The people that are in the legislature, look at them. Are those people there? Are they Congo people? 99% of the Congo people? No, absolutely not. But look how they're living. You know, so that I wish Sam was able to answer the question, but he got so caught up in why his name is being mentioned. Mentioning your name because you have flipped. You have flipped sides.
Let me tell you something, guys. I know Sam Jackson better than all of you here. He and I were very close, but I put a little bit of distance between us since he became what he has become now. An avid defender of something I know he doesn't believe in. Even the CDC guys don't trust Sam. The reason is simple. They know Sam Jackson doesn't believe any of the nonsense he writes and says. They know that. But it gives them power to think that they can give him a little bit of money and make him capitulate on things that he used to say and now be singing their praise. Sam Jackson is on McGill's payroll. I know that for a fact. I will not go any further. They give him a little bit of money. He says what he says. Sam Jackson complained. He went to Monrovia the last time. He and his South African girlfriend, the opposition people didn't get him money. Nobody gave him money. And he went to McGill. McGill gave him $8,000. And McGill that he praying and so. And he will support the government. And that's it for Sam. That's it.
No, I can agree. Sam simply wants to either have money in his pocket or be considered being at the table with people. You know,
yeah. That's all he cares about. Sam says, now is our turn. And one of the things he tells himself that, of course, is that the reason he feels justified is that our time. He not doing he not no progressive no more. Like our time not to fight.
But Pedro, how many people have come out publicly and said that their time and end up suffering? And the vice president went over here in the US years ago. She said our time, and look where they put her. They put her on ice. Yeah. So every time you come out, you say that your time, it'll end up backfiring. So you got to be careful with those statements.
So he does not care. For him, it's all good. But one thing I know, guys, check with Josh to put the TuneIn, all the other apps on, please, because I see somebody's complaining that it's not on. You guys went up just now. You just came back. So
well, somebody said air conditioning in the place. Was that true?
But my man, you will be surprised that they got air conditioner. I don't think so. I don't think that place is without AC. I saw they got AC in it.
Wow.
They got a generator there.
But you see the lighting system in a place?
Yeah. But you see the picture in the corner wall?
They got recessed lighting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's small thing, man.
You do something like that, you fly a private jet, then you go and you beg for money.
So there are other
something doesn't make sense.
There are other key issues. Why we can still keep McGill's situation in
okay, so let's go to Herbert McCulloch, the guy from NTA. Just yesterday, Isaac was talking about this guy, right? What do you think happened? Here's my theory. George Weah is akin to his people complaining, especially when they don't attack him and they attack other people and they say nice things about him still. Then he's that's like his navel string. That's how you get to him. You know, that's how narcissistic and sentimental George Weah is. Oh, George, we still love you, but then Larry Kennedy, man, you saying they mentioned you bar. One way to move Larry Kennedy.
We want manager. We not want Zogo.
Yeah, we want manager. They not want a guy. So and for George Weah to see them wearing their regalia, the CDC berets, the t-shirts and everything, I think that's why he pulled that whole stunt yesterday by having Herbert McCulloch called in, and not only that, but took the media to cover it. That whole thing was choreographed. What do you guys think?
No, I mean I agree. It was a first all for me to see the LACC actually parade somebody, have the media position to record the person coming in for the investigation, and the media is there, you know, step
at the conference table.
You know, that's like a dog and pony show, you know.
I want to know who was the dog and who was the pony.
we got to find out, but that's what it was. It was a show. And it could not, it had to come from Weah. I agree with you.
Exactly.
It had to come from Weah.
Herbert is Weah's friend. If Herbert thinks that Weah didn't pull nothing on him yesterday, then he's an idiot. Weah did pull that stuff. He probably called him, my man, I have a man going too far now. You got all policy in there making, you know, they put all the buses, they pack it in front of the building there, the man went back up. You call that man tomorrow, you put it on camera. That's all right there, Larry. And the video went out. So now he thinks that has, but here's the thing, right? It's all cosmetic. Now he's convinced that has assuaged the partisans, because to him the partisans are simpletons. They are vain. You do that kind of charade, and then they're gonna be like, yeah, the Babe still long. Is it who we protested the Babe killing man LACC.
Yeah, but like it pay them at the end of the day. If you go to protest for something you haven't taken pay for months, then somebody can tell you say because X, Y, and Z, then you say, okay, we'll go home. Our papa is still there. Or like, hey, you care to your children? Anthony is coming.
That is a great point.
That brings the ground truth to the issue.
It brings the ground truth. No, but that's true. Because I'm sure they are celebrating. Talking. I want to protest well. June 3rd protest and well.
The devil man. The devil man. They call him.
We devil he they call him. They call him.
Yeah.
I see man will go by to work on Monday.
And we get paid. And he would get paid.
Guys, how can you say, guys, here's the contradiction, right? How can you, and they announced it, they said they brought the man in for questioning over financial impropriety. How can you bring somebody in for questioning over financial impropriety and he goes back to work the next day?
So you must have established something for it to warrant you bringing in. You can't just tell me say because people making noise also making accusations.
No, exactly.
Bring somebody in.
And besides,
what are you requiring beyond that verbal thing? Because that's not investigation.
No.
You need to go into the financial records. You need to go into the human resources records to see how they were hiring people, because there are so many complaints for so many people. You need to go into the payment system for these different people, whether to see that the differential, what they were getting when they travel, whether they were $500 before and now it's $200, whether there's some kind of payment difference. All of those kind of analysis need to be done or investigation. And, you know, that little, show they put up, it doesn't satisfy investigation.
How many high level government officials have been fired for financial improprieties?
None. Zero.
There you go. So look at the record. So what is this going to come down to? It's going to just be another meaningless, like Isaac said, dog and pony show. There's nothing going to come out of it. Not until you start firing people and showing you serious about addressing corruption. Then people will take you serious. But you just calling somebody in, putting on their show. No, let's see the action behind it. Then we'll believe what you're saying.
Right.
Right. How many people have been prosecuted for people dying? The auditors on Broad Street, Matthew Innes. So many people. How many people have been prosecuted?
Well, somebody complaining about these subtitles. Is it us or is it the system itself?
Oh,
if you have your thing on mute
as we're speaking. I don't know why it does that. What can we do to turn it off, though?
No, it's either the person's individual system or they lower the volume.
You know what, Larry is right, because mine was on because I have my volume all the way down. I turned my volume up a little and it's gone down. So
so that's what happens?
Yes, on somebody's phone, if your volume is down too low, then the
subtitles would automatically pop up.
I think in the back there somewhere maybe it can be changed in the settings. I'm not.
No, the person has to do it themselves. They can either set the closed caption the closed caption on or off on their device. Yeah, so they either press something on their device, but it's not going to happen unless you request it. It's not the show that's doing it. It's built into the platform. It's built into the system, but they have to set it on their side.
So Henry, do you have a copy of this NEC budget at all?
The NEC budget is submitted for 90-something million.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. All I've seen is basically a non-detailed breakdown.
Right.
35 million for this, 20 million for that. I haven't seen the nitty-gritty, the gory details. I haven't seen.
So Larry, I know you've been back and forth over the years with me and George family. I'm not sure where your position, but we have consistently been talking about centralization of data, especially national identification data for the country, at the National Identification Registry. What has been your position on this, and how are you looking at a request for nearly $35 million to do, what do you call it there? Biometrics.
Look, if you cannot do, I'm not even sure how the country will ever be developed if you don't have a database of not just capturing, biometrics, but also having a database to capture real economic data, because a lot of the economic
let's
data.
not mix it too. We can't mix.
No. I'm just saying that it's all included. You need to have a centralized database.
Data is necessary.
Because in finance, one of the things we say is information is the basis for decision making. You cannot make decision without having credible information. And everything over there they're doing is all estimate. They take estimate from the World Bank, they take estimate from the IMF, and then they just kind of act upon that estimate. So yeah, you need a centralized database because you cannot build a credit reporting system. You cannot build any of these systems. Why do you think they're having issues in the banking sector where people are not paying back money? Because they cannot measure the level of risk they're taking when they lend people money. You lend somebody money, you don't know how risky it is.
And besides, they don't know the lien is on any one deed across, how many different persons in what percentages. And they go and give a loan to somebody else, who has a deed out there. But
yeah, one thing they tried to do a few years ago was to come up with this collateral management system over at the central bank in order to be able to have people put their personal property online as collateral to borrow money. But it worked in Ghana, but it hasn't worked very well in Liberia because it's not a system that will work for everybody. If you need a centralized database, how many people running around with Liberian passport because we just don't have a centralized database to know who these people are,
So that comes to the point. There are multiple agencies that can use, centralized data. Unfortunately, we have not gotten to that point where.
And we're not going to ever develop if we don't get to that point. The key reason why they developed the Homeland Security in America was because when 9/11 took place and they investigated, they found out that they weren't sharing information. All the different agencies had their own individualized system. Yeah, so they went and they built the FBI. They built this system called the Sentinel. They spent over $100 million to build the system, although the system failed the first time. But if you don't have information, you will never solve the problems in our country, And that's why LACC, the Institute for the Statistical Institute, that's why LACC is struggling because, number one, they're not giving them the resources they need. They need the resources to build some of the data collection system in the country. And then they also need to give the people enough money to pay to have good statisticians working for them. So, but the current administration, I don't know if they focus on technology, right? Look at the Ministry of Justice. Who is still on the cover of the Ministry of Justice website?
Oh, wow. Somebody gave good instruction on the thing. They said people should tap on the screen, and they tap the two button, and then
it's on the settings.
Closed caption. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to settings, you can turn closed caption on or off. Yeah. So it's really on the person's device, but with a lower volume. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't know how many of our lawmakers are getting some kind of external support to analyze some of these things or to make the case for this whole data collection process of biometrics for individuals and even, other assets should be turned over to the National Identification Registry, because look, it will help reduce the cost of census. It will improve so much. It will have that data there.
My man, the lawmakers are not even, they know better. They're just out there, self-promotion, taking pictures, flashing it on social media. They're not doing anything tangible. Yeah, go ahead, Boycott.
Yeah, that's what, like you said, just taking pictures. They go in the parliament, cause noise. Tuesday, Thursday, leave from there. Nothing, no outcome. All they do when President we are send a communication, sign it passed through. That's all. Nothing more, nothing.
For everything, collecting taxes, the passport issue, pension that NASCOP is handling, managing elections, the movement of people, whether at the border or whether even internally, domestically, and being able to properly deliver financial services. We need all those kind of things. Everybody in Liberia needs a digital identity, and that's why I can understand why we joke.
People are asking the government herself have to be willing to work within the digital system before you can do that. But once you are not waiting, you want to be, because once we start working to the digital system, we'll stop corruption, we'll stop X, Y, and Z.
Well, not totally, but at least there will be some.
No, we want transparency, which can help us minimize corruption if we choose to. That has a point.
It
will also, more than anything else, will improve service delivery, efficiency, and all that kind of stuff.
Because look at the and I think even the folks at Gender, they were building a whole elaborate system again separately, in terms of providing cash to the poor kind of programs. If you have this central database, you can just pull the records and then enhance it with whatever additional information you need for any one person. You can counter check whether this person is actually a citizen who lives in this particular region that you're now providing money for. So there's just so many features of a centralized repository when it comes to national identification that I don't understand why we're playing around with it. Different people got different things, and
they're not playing around with it, Isaac. They don't know how to do it. If you don't have technical people working in there, you're not gonna do it, because they haven't seen it. They haven't seen it. They don't know what it's like. They don't know the benefits of it. So it's not gonna happen because they just don't know.
But people I think I put a link in there in the room, in our chat room. People usually have done studies for people to understand this thing and look at it.
Yeah, but that's what I said. People are asking, you have to be willing to work within it before it can happen. Once you are not waiting, because now even hospitals and clinics, if you go there, if you went there for treatment in 2015 or 2014, now if you go back there for treatment today, they will have to go and take paper one by one, check into photos, and see.
That's a very great point you're making. This crowd could even have that duplicity to carry people on bio data, their medical data, whatever information that regards that person. But
and what Boyka is talking about, let me tell you, that system, Boyka, you're talking about, okay. I have something like that already built. I demoed it to a few lawmakers. And even before this group came in, I demoed something like that and said, look, you can't have people. I even wrote an article on it, wrote a paper on it. You can't have people coming to the hospital and you're looking for folders in this day and age, in this digital age. You cannot do that. I contacted some very high level people in the legislature and said, look, listen, this thing right here, I did a video of it, showing how the system worked. And I said, take a look at the video and see for yourself. When anybody come in, you put in their last name. It will bring up a list. You put in, the last name, you put in the date of birth. You even put in the town or village they've come from.
Yeah.
It will bring up the last time they came to the hospital. And this is something where you can even run on an iPad, on your smartphone, and they can share the data with the Ministry of Health. You build a centralized system like that. When people come in, you can track what they've been coming in for. You don't go give somebody drips if they have diabetes, because the person record will show it. What happened if a person comes to the hospital? They don't have that folder. You will start guessing.
Working with two different groups.
You start guessing,
to help develop a system where people can actually have a portable card with all the information and healthcare information.
Nah, you need something digital. You need something online. You need the data stored in it.
No, it comes with a healthcare system as well. Where the healthcare system is supposed to be piloted soon to one or two hospitals. to see how it works. You know, because
Yeah,
I guess we just got to drive everything from the private sector and let government see things working.
But a lot of these things are usually initiated by the government because they control the resources.
That's the thing. Interoperability, the healthcare records, all of this stuff. I work, you know, I was a consultant at the VA, and that's what it was public-private engagement that caused these things to happen. It takes that. It takes people working together to make things happen. Unfortunately, we don't do that.
We don't do it because we don't have technical people who are seeing it from being, you know, from people who have the capability to get it done. You know, the gender ministry, they need to dissolve that ministry. It should be under the Ministry of Health. What a wasting time with that ministry. Look at how much successes that ministry has proven since Ellen put that ministry together. You know, get rid of that ministry. Put all that stuff under the Ministry of Health. Let the Ministry of Health develop some of these systems.
It was there before, and then they moved it.
Yeah, but you know,
they Ministry of Health and Social Welfare.
Right. And they need to keep it. They need to keep it right there and fix it. Don't just separate the two because you're trying to create jobs.
Yes, that and government has to be trying to create jobs. That's not a rule. Create an environment that job can be created in the economy. We don't do that. We definitely don't do that. So for those who are listening, there is really no need for NEC to be asking for that kind of money to start. The first thing when you look at the mathematics of the timing, okay, from now to election, I think it's like nearly 800 days or so. When you take a 30 from that,
you counting it? You counting?
Hey guys, what's up?
We counting the days to election. No, my man, that's why you got Excel. Excel make.
Hello.
Yeah,
you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Well, you're not kicked Costa out of his own show.
I was working with the one of my guys, and we just turned off the thing. So the subtitles have been turned off.
No, right now on my screen.
Well, we just turned it off just now, guys.
Yeah, I think it's
driven by the individual device. If you
click
on
open your screen and go back. No, but there is a way to turn it off from the thing.
Yeah, if you click the gear box, which is the settings, it will say auto caption on or off. So you can click it on or you can click it off.
You see?
Yeah, so I turn the captions off.
Right. So when I appear, when you minimize the volume,
Henry, you can see my phone.
Yeah, so but it's from your end.
Yes, I agree. I tap the three dots and then you can see here, turn off captions. There's an option, turn off captions.
Yep, yeah, but then you turn it off.
Each person has to do it individually.
Ah, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
Okay, each person has to do it. Okay, that's very good. Well, Baga, let's take a few calls. So, folks, here's what you're gonna do. I did not know how this thing comes on. You go to your live video, like on your device right now. If you're watching us live, you click the live video. You click on your video. You just tap your video. Like this is my video. You tap the actual video with your hand, with your finger. When you tap it, in the upper right corner, you will see three dots. 1, 2, 3. You click on those three dots. Once you click on those three dots, then it will ask you what you want to do. You know. So what I'm gonna you click on closed captions. I just turn mine off on this other device.
Right.
I turn it off on this other device, so they are off on my both devices. So that's the way it works.
But don't forget, you do it the same thing to turn it on if you want to just read the screen and let it be quiet. So you gotta do the same.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So that's what you do. Tap on the video and do that. Good. Bagay, let's take at least 3 more calls and then come back just to spice it up a little bit.
Okay, 0770-102-102-886 010-383 555 102-102. The WhatsApp number is +231 888 624171. Until we can get a calls, calls in Bibera Larry, Bibera Isaac. The issue about the guys Mageo, Samuel Tue, they went to America and made a lot of commitment to the American government. Yeah, they made a lot of commitment. How when they come back, there will be some changes, there will be a lot of things happening. I don't know, since their return, from the personal view or from the personal look of things, are you guys thinking that what they said there is happening now, or
but what did they really say, boy? What were the promises they made? What were they?
That when it comes, there will be some changes.
Change in what respect?
There will be changes in
transparency,
the way they will govern the country, like the wasteful spending, the issue about death in the country, the issue about come down on the media. You know, there are a lot of things there.
Death in the country. What investigation has been carried out to actually ensure that those people who die get justice? None. So I don't see.
So I think what Bernard is talking about is that when they came back, they wrote a press release, guys.
Yeah,
sure.
They said basically they made lots of commitments, and these commitments stemmed from their engagements with these people they met. Because all the people they met complaining about the killings, about the strangulation of civil society. They talk about expanding the space, re-engaging with civil society, allowing people to protest. I mean, I think they went a little too far. In fact, they even made commitments that allowing people to protest. Now, the fact that they will even say they will allow people to protest freely meant that they were acknowledging that they were not doing that before, which is true. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Here is why. The COP went through the process to try to register with the Liberia Business Registry. These guys put us through a number of hoops. We did everything they wanted us to do. When they got to the point where they had to register us, the guys told us they could not because there is another Council of Patriots registered in the system. Can you imagine that? Do we know any other Council of Patriots in the Republic of Liberia?
Well, you didn't ask them to show you the registration.
They refused to show us the registration for the so-called other Council of Patriots.
Well, I think guys should have pushed the needle and done a Freedom of Information Act request.
Jella, it will work. Mama Isaac,
sometimes you gotta do it. I did it several times. It didn't work, but I still did it.
Isaac, it does not work. You know, I will tell you this, man. Look, democracy is a beautiful thing. Guys, you know who outed Charles Taylor as a CIA operative? We always heard the rumor that Charles Taylor was a CIA operative or a CIA spy, right? But it was the Boston Globe newspaper. They wrote the CIA. And by the time the Boston Globe wrote the CIA, Charles Taylor's files had already been declassified.
Right.
And once the files are declassified, they will divulge. And under the Freedom of Information Law, the CIA divulged the information to the Boston Globe. And today we know for a fact that Charles Taylor worked for the United States Central Intelligence Agency. In Liberia, I remember one time I wrote Len Eugene Nangbe when he was Minister of Youth and Sports. That bugger went, they did some kind of fiasco with jerseys and football apparels and stuff for the counter meet. I wrote the man asking for information on the budget and how he was spending the money. That ball, I wrote that ball. You know what that ball told me? That the cost for printing, because the law says you must pay for printing. The boss submitted me an invoice for the cost of printing of the documents for $300 something US.
Oh, but you all right. You know what Raul Sally then charged me at NOCA when I asked them for financials?
Oh, God.
$4 for one photocopy. And they said it was 6,000 pages. I needed 4,500 pages, 6,500 pages I needed. So it was going to be 26,000 I was supposed to pay.
US look, hey man, look, guys.
Israel and Kisai were there at the time. You were like, oh, but what did people say? Oh, and my own classmate, Abja Ismail, she was the attorney at the time. And it did. Yes. I think I saw a letter somewhere.
You know,
That's how you
Isaac and
discourage
Larry,
transparency.
I'm gonna say this, right? You know, the other day, so folks, Isaac, Larry, and I were in the chat room, and Isaac posted something the other day, basically conveying a message from somebody who was listening to us. And the person said, you know, the way Costa can talk sometimes about the opposition, it sounds a little pessimistic and whatever. Guys, this is where I come from. This is exactly where I come from. I have absolutely no guarantees that our own government will be any different or any better. And the reason I say this is very simple. Because it's just inherently us. I mean, imagine you make a whole freaking law to enhance transparency and accountability. Then you set up stumbling blocks so that the law does not work. It does not benefit the purpose for which it was established.
But that's why I said that what Ellen did. She created these integrated institutions, all these laws to meet the HIPAA thresholds. But to actually execute them and let them have the mandate to and that's what set the table today, that none of these institutions are functional. They are totally dependent on the executive. You know, they can't do anything. It's sad. They
So you
really
see,
compromise the efficacy of those institutions.
you see, Isaac, you're answering Boyka's question. You're answering Boyka's question, because why I say people will come over here and make all these promises is because they need to do that to receive help and assistance from the American government. They're making promises on transparency because the IMF, the World Bank, is telling them you need to do some of these things in order for you to be in some of these programs. Right. Why did they fail the whole MCC compact? Because they didn't meet certain thresholds for transparency.
And when we were talking about it back in the day, some of them were arguing in the CDC chat room how they were doing it right. No other country. They think about everything being the best in Liberia is a sick thing. Or no other country not ever get that kind of score we got compared to records.
They do, because they failed the MCC compact, they failed meeting, the State Department just put out the transparency report recently. They failed all these things. That's why in order to get funding and some of the things from the IMF program, Boyka, they need to come over here and make promises that they will do these things, even though legitimately they do not do them, but it's all just lip service. They do these things, they get the funding, they go back, they don't change. And that's what happens. It's like a vicious cycle that keeps going on. Not just in Liberia, it happens throughout Africa. You know, look at South Sudan. South Sudan used to receive money from international agencies, and they just used to come to the US and make promises that they would never keep. They never keep it. But who holds them accountable? No.
All right, guys.
That's stuff.
Let me do this shout out for one of our fans, Apostle Randolph Abraham Davis. He says, "Happy birthday to me." He's a Costa. I'm one of your greatest fans. Apostle Randolph Abraham Davis, he's watching via YouTube, so that's why you can see his comment here. We got 105 people watching on YouTube live. Apostle Abraham Randolph Davis, I said, Randolph Abraham Davis, I said, I want to say happy birthday to you. I wish you all the best, and have a wonderful birthday today. Guys, we're gonna close up now. Thank you all so much. We had a great time, and as usual, man, it's just sad, man. When do we have a government that will really allow these institutions to work? When, guys? Tell me when.
When you get the people who, I don't know. It's a tough question.
It is a tough question, my man.
Yeah, it's because
you know why I asked that question? And this is what some people don't like to hear. That's what the lady who told Isaac, oh yeah, Costa is supporting the opposition, but look at how he sounds. There are some people, lots of people in the opposition want me to sound like that. Oh, by the time we win, everything will be great. When you request public information, they will provide it. Oh, by the time somebody steals, they will prosecute them. I will not say any of those things. I swear. The whole campaign in 2023, I will not make any promises to any of you, the voters. I will simply ask you to vote for us and give us a chance to prove ourselves. That will be my campaign message. You will never hear me tell you, say, Joe Biden will come there, he will put pro in jail. I will not tell you that. You
cannot say that, Costa. You cannot say that, Costa, because you cannot guarantee how people will behave. You cannot guarantee it.
No, that's a difference between guaranteeing, saying what you think.
Isaac, let me ask you a question. Let me hold you right there, Isaac. Will you be, if you support, you will be supporting the candidate in 2023? Are you going to be telling the voters that your candidate will enforce the Freedom of Information Law, for example, will investigate and prosecute corrupt officials in this government? Are you going to be definitively promising those things?
If that's what we discuss and that's what we agree on, yes, I will do it, because
you will do that again.
Can you guarantee that?
You will do that?
Can you guarantee that?
I started complaining about early, even before the election finished, because you were already in bed with the people.
I will not do that, gentlemen. I, Henry Pedro Costa, will not tell anybody that Boakai will put people in jail, that Boakai will prosecute people for corruption, that Boakai will respect freedom of speech. I will not do that. I will ask them instead if he becomes a standard bearer.
But Henry, they I don't think you believe in a leader you will be selected.
No, you don't understand. I'm hurt.
He doesn't understand your question.
No, listen, I am hurt. I don't trust Liberian politicians in general. Period. I'm hurt.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And I will not, Isaac, listen to me. I have tens of thousands of people, or way more, who believe in me, who are waiting for me to tell them who we're going to support. What I will not do, I will not tell them John Brown will give you milk and honey. I will tell you, give John Brown a chance to prove himself.
Based on what John Brown is saying, he's probably the most likely person to actually prosecute, to actually try to.
I will not make any such commitments.
To actually try to create jobs.
Isaac, will you guarantee it?
Larry.
I said, will you guarantee it? Will you guarantee that?
Guarantee is different from telling people.
But then Isaac, don't promise what you cannot deliver.
But you see, Isaac, you kind of, you kind of, I want to say you're sitting on the fence.
No,
you're telling people,
what fence? Can you guarantee that when you leave from your house today, you'll be alive tomorrow?
But that's what Henry is saying, and that's what I'm agreeing with.
That's why you should not promise that.
That's right.
That doesn't discount the possibility that you will go back home and be alive tomorrow.
You cannot promise that the next administration coming in is without a shadow of a doubt
you can give the expectation. That's what
right. But that's what he's saying.
That's what he
said. He's not putting his neck on the line.
That's not what he's saying.
I will tell them to vote for them.
I'm not going to put my neck on the line.
I will not tell them that it will happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But on what basis?
My man.
Henry, just answer me. On what basis will you tell anybody to vote for some candidate? On what basis?
Because we want to give them a chance to prove themselves.
Okay, proving themselves on what? What are they saying that they need to prove?
The things they will say out of their own mouth.
Thank you. So you will be doing it.
But no. But you missed the point, Isaac. The point is, should Henry or even I or Boyka put their neck on the line saying...
Who put their neck on the line? Nobody putting their neck on the line.
But that's what he's saying. He's saying he's not going to put his neck on the line.
I will support them.
But I'm not putting my neck on the line for them.
No. That's a...
So you agree with us that nobody should put their neck on the line?
Listen.
Are you agreeing with us?
No. I don't just agree like I'm a dumb person. No, I went to school too. There are nuances to this thing. It's one thing to say, I don't trust the people that will not do their thing because politicians...
No, I'm not saying that.
That's what the woman...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I don't trust them. But as far as putting my neck, you can say, Isaac could do this. Give him a chance.
Thank you.
But I would not tell you, say, I swear, you get Isaac into here, Isaac will do it.
I expect to do that. I will not do it.
I will not say that.
I mean, people just get vested when I say I don't trust human beings because human beings are prone to error, prone to make mistakes, and prone to faults. People get vested, but that's a fact.
So Isaac, listen to this real quick. Someone here, who's this? Lejeune is posting that the next government might likely be worse than the previous government. Do you agree with that?
I put my hair in my hair and cry. I would just tell my back on la bureau.
No, but listen.
But do you agree that it might be worse?
Larry, what is the best indicator of present or future events?
Past performance.
Yeah.
Consistently, for 174 freaking years, Liberian politicians have been bad people.
That is correct.
It is only natural to expect that the next government will be bad.
So maybe you try to bring in somebody considered an outsider to usurp the system.
It doesn't matter. Liberian are the same thing. So my thing is, Larry, and we said about the close, but this subject is important because there are a lot of people in opposition who don't like me who don't like the year because I don't give a damn. I don't want to die from Boakai. I don't want to die from Cummings. I don't want to die from any one of them. I don't give a damn. The reason I don't want to die for them is simple, because I think they will fire me.
No
because
question.
For example, they will fire me quick. That's why I don't want, and I tell them this, I don't want to die from them, because I can't stomach nonsense. I can't. So I said, when I go do wrong, we in the government now, we not win. I said, go do wrong.
Then you be quiet.
To keep quiet about it.
No, you should not be.
I will talk. Then there will be some of our own men today. Plenty of the guys that I'm friends with in the opposition, I don't trust them. Period. I don't trust them.
Costa, I hold same position like you. There are people who actually,
because you know what? And you know, we have a chat room. Whenever I'm saying these things in our chat room, the chat room can fall quiet, completely quiet. I tell them, I say, gentlemen, this is nonsense we're talking about today in this government. Tomorrow, what kind of power when you do the nonsense, I will attack you. My man, that's when most people in the chat room don't say a word. That way I can know. All day they talk about how the government bad, how the government did. By the time you tell them, say, you're gonna try them nonsense we're doing here tomorrow, I will deal with you. They can't talk. It just tells me, I say, you see, this, we are no different.
My man,
we who call ourselves CPP or whatever, we are no different from this.
Who has set that mindset that you come into government, you come in to serve, you're not coming to get rich. And the moment your lifestyle change beyond that $4,000 or $5,000 you're supposed to be making, is a trigger for us to audit you, for us to find out what's going on. But unfortunately, they're not doing any of those things today. So people, their feet going right.
There are people around all the candidates running for president from our side, the opposition, who, when we win, they will be telling the president, Mr. President, focus on delivering to the people. Don't go after we are. Don't bother McGill them. You know why they will be doing that?
They won't do the same thing, so nobody
can do the same thing.
But luckily,
by the time now, they will say that Costa man, the Costa who were making the loudest noise for them.
That meant difficult to work with. That meant too hard to work. No, but Costa, the advantage.
By the time now, they will be finding ways for me to not see the president. Now I don't give a damn for any president. Look, you see, I love myself. I've reached the point in my life where I have full enlightenment. I don't need anybody to give me.
Man, you got full enlightenment here, man. Nobody does. You still need.
No, when it comes to the Liberian political system, I've been reaching to that level. The level is make yourself independent of the president.
I look.
And my eyes are open.
My eyes are open.
Henry.
I can support you. I'll be telling you, I support you. Like, you know, the other day I was talking with Joe Baga. I said, Uncle Joe, I'm not supporting you because I like you. I'm supporting you because I believe you can make a difference. I was clear. Even in our private conversations, I tell him that. That's the level I've reached.
Even if you like him, you still love Liberia more. That's how it's supposed to be. And
I'm telling you, the reason I'm supporting that because of Liberia, not because of you.
So, you know, what you're saying is a fact.
The thing worries me, Isaac. It worries me because
that's why they need to be a political mass.
It worries me, Isaac, because I hope that by 2024, Larry, we will not still be talking about change, about this, about that. I hope that we will be on the trajectory.
We need to find more people. There are a lot of good people, but they need to step up. A lot of good people are sitting in the shadows, just waiting, just quiet.
They need to speak up. That's the reason why we are here.
Let's read this comment. Lucinda Cole, she says, don't compare sheep and goat. Don't use past experience to determine the future. Then where are you coming from?
But again, I would say you can use somebody else's past experience.
No, we're using Liberians in general.
While there's a significant amount of information available on all past Liberian leaders and how screwed up they have been, at the same point, there are people with different orientations who want to come and make a difference. You can't just want those people.
Hold on, Isaac. Looking at George Weah's performance as a senator, shouldn't that have been an indication of how he would perform as a president in terms of speaking out on issues, having press conferences, putting out bills and stuff like that? Was that indication?
Why I can agree with that, there was no indication from that Senate that he will allow this level of corruption or he will be like this. I don't think so.
He didn't have the level of power, but terms of speaking, you still have to look at the past performance, because look at how he behaved as a senator.
For me, again, it was always about the team, about the people, and about the mindset. It was not about George Weah's own competence. I never touted George Weah as being competent. No. Never did. No, anybody can say that. Nobody can go find something where I would tell you George Weah was the most competent. No. I honestly believe that George Weah cared enough that when you see people doing wrong to Liberia or hurting the country, you try to correct.
Was the party within your party? Was it surrounded with very competent people?
No, but George Weah himself said that he will reach out to Liberians who are competent to do it.
All politicians say that.
So here's the argument.
When they come to power, what do they do? Remember, they just sickening, man.
So looking at the past performance, if you didn't surround yourself in a party with very competent people, you sure as hell cannot expect.
No.
Oh, wait, so you know where I'm going?
No. Hold on 1 second. That's some limitations, right? Sometimes the competent people may not be attracted to you as a leader. That's one. Two, sometimes you may not know them to invite them. Right now, today,
no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
There are numerous competent Liberians that we don't know. They don't know them.
No. Hold on 1 second. Right now, you know what people like Ghana and some of the other countries are doing when you go to the embassy's website? They have a list there where they're asking their citizens to register and put their competencies.
Larry, how long did they try to push for a Liberia professional database?
Why didn't CDC put a request like that out there to get competent people around them?
At this point, I don't think they want it, but we actively recruited professionals. Larry, you cannot tell me that I didn't try to get you to come to the CDC.
Let me tell you why they don't want it. They don't want it because they're not going to use it.
Thank you.
They're going to use idiots who can chant slogans behind them.
At this point,
loyalists,
I totally agree.
sycophants. When we win to, we'll look for all our own crooks.
I hope you don't do that.
My man, I keep telling you, when I sit down, I think to myself, all the work we're doing, where will it end? Are we going to go right back? I will become the biggest opposition to them from day one. I want to make this promise to my people, the people who believe in me, who support me. I'm not supporting CPP because I like Boakai or because I like Uri. I don't give a damn. I'm supporting them for the sake of Liberia. From day one, after whoever becomes the president takes the oath of office, and you start from your appointments, I will start criticizing.
And that's
let me repeat. Those of you who worship these people, Boakai and Uri, tomorrow you and myself will clash. Because you know, some of them, they're supporting me today. Some of these Liberian people, they're supporting me today. Tomorrow, because what they do, most Liberians, they love their political leaders when they love their country and they love and themselves.
That's true.
No, but Costa,
tomorrow you'll be like, oh, but I thought Costa love Boakai. I love my country, not Joe Boakai, not Bernard Uri. I love my country. I want Liberia to do better. So I'm telling you, if these people don't do well, and I have the right to speak the way I'm speaking, because we are risking our lives. Some of us have actually literally risked our lives. We've lost our businesses. We are winning souls for their cause to be president. Somebody got to be in the job. Somebody got to be there. But guess what? If they come there and they start messing up, I will fight them. Oh, I will fight them. I will fight them so fiercely, you will not even believe it. I will fight them. That is the promise I make to you. And you will never hear me promise you things that I personally cannot deliver. If I can deliver it, if I have the capacity, the power to deliver, I will promise you. If I can't personally deliver it, I will not promise you. I will not. Let the candidates themselves tell you what they will do. That I'm going to tell you, say John Brown do X, Y, and Z.
The only makeshift clinic in the Bel Air district is the Fasama Community Clinic, serving over 200 towns. and McGill couldn't use the money to build a memorial clinic in his mother's honor. He go take the money to go build that.
Yeah, that's where your man from.
Because the issue about you saying that once the person is elected, from the time that they start doing their appointment, once you look at how they go about doing the appointment, that's the time you start having a problem with them. And then I will come in. You work with President Weah for like 10 months. You gave him a chance to see if he would do better or not before you could walk away. So, and you are helping to put this particular president into position. For instance, the opposition now, you are into opposition and you're fighting to put them into power. Don't you think it is necessary to give them the same 10 months?
No. In that case, no. The reason is simple.
But I gotta be a good defense attorney.
No,
I gotta be a good defense lawyer.
He's telling them ahead of time.
Let me answer your question. I will not give them 1 day to see, because they are bragging that they are experienced. Joe Walker is.
Why you get up for 10 months? You're not gonna. Why you get up for 10 months?
No, because you know what?
He didn't know. What? He was not enlightening. He was not
enlightening at the time. That's the question. That's the answer. My man, you got it. I said the thing I know now, and I gave it nobody no time to say what thing. Experience. Let me get the
answers. The men know what to expect. No, seriously, we gotta demand performance.
My man, we will demand it.
We have
those of us who love Liberia will gang up together. We'll fight our own government.
I can laugh with you. I can laugh with you.
If one old corrupt Sanama Swan in the government, I will issue press release. If Cummings is the president, he appoint one old role or incompetent, somebody who's unqualified, I will speak out.
And that's why a movement or pressure group like COP should stay a pressure group. And
that will remain a pressure group. You think I hear about nonsense?
Because we got to.
I don't want that government job.
Look, some of you won't be rich. We ain't got no desire to be rich. So we got to make sure that things can go down, not trickle or flow down, not trickle down to a flow down to a flow to the poor people. We need that to happen for the country to change. We need real decentralization. We need real economic empowerment where people can have in the counties, can have discussion with the concessions, be able to establish their own concessions, then pay some kind of fee to the central government. That's the only way our country will develop. And we need sons and daughters who have these qualifications to go into the country.
My brother Mike Fire David says, Henry, you must have a conversation with your candidate, which you must communicate to the voters.
Yeah.
Mike, some of us are in a position where we can talk to these people. But whatever that candidate tells me, there are certain things I will not tell the voters. I will wait until they begin to deliver on it themselves. And good thing I can tell you, where I am, I don't need the presidential candidate because I don't need their job. That's the beauty. I don't want to be appointed. I have no desire to have a job in the government. None whatsoever in the executive branch. None. I won't be Minister of Information. I won't be nothing. I don't want to be. So what can the president offer me? Really nothing. The first thing is put yourself in a position, if you want to be an ardent critic, a fair critic, I want to put myself in a position where I don't need a president. Period.
Right. So Larry, somebody said you made a comment of the lack of professionals in CDC at the time. So the man said he want to make a comment to that issue. Joe, you there?
Yeah.
Y'all can hear him?
Yes.
Go ahead, Joe. What are your point against Larry?
Yeah, I just want to dispute Larry and other people. You know, sometimes people come on the show and just attack us who supported George Weah. There are a lot of things that we plan to do, and all those things were put on the side. You're talking about a professional group. Yes, Larry, we discussed it, and I personally was serving as the vice chairman as administration for the CDC USA. We met with the first lady in New York when it came for the women conference at the UN. We sat with her in her hotel. We told her the similar thing that Jamaica did when the president came into power. He called all the professionals around the world to come and help Jamaica. We put the proposal in front of her. She said she was taking it to a hospital. And when I became chairman, when the president went to New York for his first visit, Larry, yes, we met with him in his hotel and we said the same thing. It is just unfortunate that a lot of these things, some of you come out and say these things, you got no proof and you were not in the making. And it's just unfortunate that, look, we suffer, with the hope that we were going to see better for our country, but it just turned out to be the other way. I mean, some of us never regretted supporting George Weah, but we're regretting now the way the country is being run. That's the only regret we got. But all these things, yes, we had a professional. And Larry, you know that very well, that there are more professionals in CDC if those people are going to be brought on board. All these things we see going on today, seeing a minister, nobody against the minister burying his mother. No. But you as a minister, you cannot do these kind of things. And these are things that will make CDC not to win election under no condition, Larry. So please, guys, some of us saw it. We left the party in 2019. We're out of there, and we're just watching, and we're just waiting for the right person to come to lead our country. But I just wanted to just make this correction. That yes,
people are asking, I want to ask you a question.
All right, they got one question for you, Joe. Joe, somebody has a question for you. Listen, go ahead.
Yeah. So he supported the government. Now they are in power and things are happening. Do you think is there any way that the president can make a turnaround to get things back into place? Do you think that way?
No, I'll say this, and I've said it in so many ways. There's nothing George Weah can do right now to turn this country around.
Good.
Absolutely nothing. Not even bringing me
Very
back
good.
to DC, which I'm not part of anymore. Not even Ashley Toback can come back to bring this back together. No way. Not even the actor Zakama. Nobody within the CDC who are left can come back to CDC and bring back CDC to the way it used to be. It's done. It is done. We just waiting for 2023. I'm sorry to say this. It is done. And all these laws, I see people talking about the opposition not going to hold. It's all the same gimmicks that they play just to confuse the mind of the voting public that all the opposition don't mean no good. But that's a lie. The opposition is going to hold and it's going to win the first round election because we were happy yesterday seeing a minister who came from nowhere and having that kind of a funeral for his mother. And people say, oh, the mayor is giving his mother a befitting funeral. Yes, I did it. As a private citizen, I did that for my mother. My mother died. I gave it last year. I gave us the best befitting burial you can ever think about as a private citizen. But now when you are government officials, anything you do is being scrutinized under the microscope. And that's what you guys don't get. You understand me? So there's nothing George Weah can do right now to turn anything around.
Thank you. Thank you,
Let me ask you a question. So
Joe Jackson, right?
Joe Jackson, yeah. So, and Isaac, I was with you guys over in Houston when they were doing the installation of Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson is my brother. We talk, right? And I love the fact that when I was in Houston, one of the ladies, I can't think of her name, she was doing a presentation on Six Sigma. She was discussing something very important that people didn't understand, how Six Sigma can be used to benefit a country as a whole. But let me ask Joe Jackson, what percentage of the professionals in CDC, what percentage of the people in CDC at the time would you say were professionals? And when I say professionals, I mean they had a background in the field where they were looking to operate in Liberia, meaning a professional doctor, someone who was working the field, a professional banker, someone who worked in the field. What percentage of the people you say were in CDC at the time before they came to power were professionals?
If you talk about a percentage, I would take between 40 to 45%. You got one right there with you. I say Toba.
You think it was maybe like 5%? You think it was like 5%?
Sigma, hold on. She's a Six Sigma professional. She worked with one of the biggest hospitals in.
Why is she not working? Why didn't CDC bring her in? Someone like that with that kind of credible background.
That's the problem he's talking about, Larry.
But what I'm saying is you had a very small percentage of people.
This conversation, we've been having a conversation all the time. You look at me. Let me use myself as a case study. I got 29 years in aviation, Larry, and I supported this government to the fullest. I was not in the background. I was in the forefront. I don't have a school you on it, Larry. You know the work that I put into CDC. 29 years
in aviation, and you look at me and you put me on the side and bring somebody with zero experience in aviation, you expect that airport to be a better place? Come on now, Larry, you're gonna ask me that question?
No, that's the point I'm trying to make.
But Larry, we have made that point like ad infinitum.
Yeah, but the core people who are working within the party, the professionals were a very small percentage. Very, very small percentage of people. Because
Larry, it's not a small percentage. I can go through my phone. I can go to the Isaac Zawolo. I can go to Ato Zakama. I can go to other people who are in Europe. That everybody who are in CDC, I put the phone in the middle name at CDC. So when they call me, I know.
I just wanted to make that point, man.
Let me, I think you're understanding it. If you have a wait, hold on one second.
Your percentage is too high. I think you're probably 25 to 30%. Really, 25 to 30%.
I think it's 5%.
Internal.
Too generous. But they did not utilize them.
Yeah, no, he didn't utilize them. He put them to the side.
If you had about,
you know why he didn't utilize the professional, Larry?
You gotta have their own opinion. They will do what they're supposed to professionally do, not kiss butt or not.
From the beginning, Joe, I know I had a good intention. One day I signed with Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks,
Thank
Joe.
you very much. We appreciate your contribution.
Yeah.
Well, I think the layer extension you did was necessary, Henry. At least you clarify your position. I think
because it's a 10%.
We're not putting our neck on the chopping board for.
I'm not putting my neck on the chopping board for nobody. Let me say this: I, Henry Pedro Costa Show, I not put my neck on chopping block for Joe Boakai, for Bernard Ure, for Ellis Coming. Nothing. I will ask you to vote for them when they come to power. If they mess up, I will attack them.
We'll hold them accountable.
I say I will criticize them, or I will viciously fight them. And the reason why I will viciously fight them is because the resources that I'm putting into this effort, my time, my money, the sacrifices that I'm making, that's why I will be angry. When I be fighting there, you must understand that the reason why I'll be fighting there, their money, they're not paying my bills. They don't pay my workers. I keep my this thing on. I pay the rent to fight, to promote their cause. If the kind of power they let me down, the way I'll be angry, you will not even believe it. They want to do the job we are small.
Costa, you have to
wait. And I can talk like this because I am hurt about the way my country has been run.
But Henry, there's a transition period about Boyka is trying to say. There's a time to ramp up, okay? And there has to be some kind of elimination process. There will be some people who will come from day one, they won't see. And those people have to be taken out of government quickly.
Isaac, let me tell you something. I believe Joe Boakai to be a man of integrity. I believe Alex Cummings to be a man of integrity, even though I don't support Cummings, but I believe him to be a man of integrity. Fine. I will judge the two of them the same. So if Cummings or Joe is in a mansion, Cummings or Joe in a mansion, a case like the ball from Charles de Gaulle, Larry, who wired the 200,000, what would you expect a Cummings who professes, or a Boakai who professes to have integrity, what do you expect him to do in that?
Investigate, prosecute, and jail.
Yes. Thank you. If Joe Boakai try to tell me, Pedro, that let low inside, you're putting on the software, was I start attacking him right there.
Let's investigate the investigation. I will attack.
I will attack. They been wire the money. We see the transfer Kolo. He take money from the poor account. He wire it to Philadelphia to a bank account. Then you say, you're not look at it way. I start attacking Joe Boakai right. But I swear to my man, Sarah Burton. I'm talking it today. I want them to hear me. Thousands of people are listening on the multiple platforms that we got. I'm talking it today. If you say you got integrity, you Joe Boakai, or you Ellis Cummings, I swear to God, you do the right thing, I will fight you.
And that's the right, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Costa, what happened with what he need? Jake Brown. What's the situation with that case? That
the man works for NSA. He posted a video of a very disturbing, graphically disturbing.
So did that
pornography.
video not come around before, or is that a new one? Because
I think I saw that video somewhere. Now, here is the point.
Yeah.
Here is the point. Whether or not he knows who's in that video, whether that video is in Liberian, is in Liberia, was made in Liberia, whether that's a Liberian child being abused, but the fact that he works in a top level position at the NSA,
yes,
that he posted in America, it's criminal to post child porn. It's criminal to share it. It's criminal to publish it. And President Weah calls himself feminist in chief.
My man, that other joke. Why would people keep repeating it?
Yeah, but I don't even say that nonsense because that man is no damn feminist.
He's not. He's definitely not.
So, my man, Malankle Olare, me, I tell you today, I will fight the people. You know why I will fight them? They're not giving me 1 cent.
That's it.
I don't get 1 cent from Joe Biden, which I don't want. I don't get 1 cent from Cummings, which I don't want. The reason why I'm supporting the CPP is because of Liberia. They come to power, they disappoint me. I lost my radio station because of the position I've taken to fight for Liberia and for these opposition people. I lost my businesses, the government chasing me, all that kind of nonsense. And tomorrow, the kind of power they disappoint me. You know, some of you you ain't lose nothing compared to me. Some of you are nothing. But for me, my own will be personal. It will be too personal. Oh yeah, it will be too bloody. I will fight these people. So they better hear it today. They better hear it today.
Well, they better not be surprised. They better not be surprised. They better not be surprised. You saying it right now.
Me, I'm talking there. Because I'm not supporting nobody. Do I roll I just let you fucking man. You stupid. Anybody who says that, I support them because I love Liberia.
Costa, before you fight them, you have to sell them to the people and make them president before you can fight them. If they don't do what
the people now all they want made the people they will support them. You know why they will support them? They say Pedro will be there tomorrow. They will know. My supporter, they already know that we are supporting them. But tomorrow when they let out them, I will fight them.
So what one of your followers here, Ahmed, is saying, he said, expecting someone not to do wrong and expecting that someone to do the right thing are two different things, right? He said, like Costa mentioned, it's natural for humans to do wrong. What makes us different is the courage to do right. That's what a lot of these political leaders then lacking, the courage to do the right thing. You know, that we should give a presidential candidate to prove himself, not to promise specific, otherwise we'll end up being liars again. So if the man come out, he doesn't prove himself, and we put our neck on the line, we're allowing that person to fool us again. So yeah, I mean, what this brother is saying, it makes total sense. Because like what Maxwell said in his book, courage is contagious. When a leader shows courage out there and start going and prosecuting people, everybody, the spine in other people's back will stiffen. You would grow, like we said, kahunas to go out there and do the right thing. So courage is contagious. But when you have somebody who lacks courage to go out and prosecute people for egregious criminal offenses, people would say, oh, okay, it's open season. Everybody will start wiring 200,000 to their account overseas, you know, and that's what we see happening right now. And then for the person to boastfully say nothing will happen to them,
yeah,
that tells you we have a major issue.
And guys, the thing is so easy to do. The boy, why is 200,000? Why is he not in jail already?
But because you know that
maybe that thing happened early in the early stages. You will say that he computer, but I don't hear.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Costa. The fact that Costa, and you know a lot of the U.S. government officials, especially for the embassy, they watches the show, right? The fact that Costa mentioned someone has used the American banking system to siphon money out of
America.
Somebody would take a look at that. Because if you're using the U.S. banking system for criminal behavior, they're going to come after you. And that was why Samuel K. Doe was able to have Charles Taylor jailed over in Massachusetts, because he said Charles Taylor stole money. And the U.S. grabbed Charles Taylor and threw him in prison. But then they turned around again. The CIA helped him break out of prison, and then the whole mess started over here. So yeah, definitely.
There you go. I mean, what kind of example Jesus gave you? Putting your head on the line for any politician is like wholeheartedly trusting a prostitute to make you a better wife. Jesus. You know, look,
With
people
that,
can change. Let's get this
the
clear.
show is over. Just leave it right there. The show over.
Because Jesus favored Julius. Jesus Christ, that example. No, but people can change. That one thing I do believe people can change. You know.
But you know what I believe, Isaac?
Uh-huh.
If you are truly you, and you truly believe the things you preach, no matter how tempting the situation, you shall not change.
You hold your ground.
My man, you know when they say that nonsense, all that stupid excuse like everybody get, hey man, Joe, I got a good president, but they put it around him. That lie! I would not make that excuse. Hey man, come in a good man, you see the program, man, working there, and the people around you, man, become president and put me man corrupt. That bloody lie.
No, the people they can make you corrupt if you become corrupt because you corrupt. The people around you can be corrupt, but there's some cycle that information can come to you. When you don't act on it, that's where the problem is.
My man,
the people around the president will leverage that position.
There are leaders who have come to power in other countries that have done remarkably well, that have broken with the trend, that have veered off tangent, that have introduced a radical paradigm shift. So you can't tell me, oh, in a corrupt environment, you're supposed to be corrupt. No. Other leaders they were not perfect, but they broke with. Look at Rawlings, gentlemen. Look at Thomas Sankara. Look at the late John Magufuli. Look at Paul Kagame. Are those guys perfect? They are not. But look at them. Do you see them building mansions? Do you see them having fat bank accounts abroad? Do you see any of those things? No. But you see their countries progressing. So I'm going to support you. The level I am now in Liberian politics, I stick my neck on the line, campaigning for you, using my own resources. You're not giving me nothing. If I were your paid consultant, that's the difference. If the people that were paying me to talk for them, then I ain't got no right to criticize them when they win power. But you're not paying me fusa. Then you must win power, you must do physique. I swear, and that's what it will quite.
There will be that certain group of people, no matter what the leader come in, they will support it. No matter what, the person can be as corrupt as hell, they will still support
That's true,
it.
Larry.
Look at what happened to Jacob Zuma in South Africa. Look at his supporters. Jacob Zuma totally disregarded the Supreme Court in South Africa. The man had been investigated for rampant corruption. The man just laughed at them. Jacob Zuma had to turn himself in because he was charged with contempt of court. But look at his supporters. They're rioting in South Africa on the street. And it's supporting, that's the kind of thing that would take our country backwards. When you know the president is doing something wrong, when you know the leaders are doing something wrong, and you cannot take a stand for yourself and put love of country first, you put the country into chaos. That's why we see happening in Liberia. People put the president on a pedestal as opposed to putting the country on a pedestal. You know, they put away their own moral beliefs, their own ethical beliefs for sycophancy. There's no reason, like I keep saying this, there is absolutely no reason why people in Liberia should be as poor. Over 60-something% of the people should be food insecure. We shouldn't have that. It shouldn't happen at all. We have all of the resources. We have more resources than a lot of countries that's doing better. But we're in the situation we are in because people put leaders on pedestal and our country first. That's the issue we have.
Yeah, and me,
thank you, gentlemen. We have to close up. We could be here all day, but we've got to go.
Yep.
God bless you.
Happy 26th to everybody out there.
Thank you. Same to you all. My man Larry, the Liberian, the Old Town Association of Delaware, they're having a 26th thing on Sunday at that park. It's a Wise Park, you know.
Wise Park, yeah, by Salem Church Road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
We should catch up there if you have time on Sunday.
I will swing by.
It starts at 2. I'm looking to go there around like maybe 4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah, Wise Park is a pretty nice place. Yeah, that's where they have your party, your birthday.
Yeah, that's where they have my birthday thing. Yeah. So we're gonna go there and have fun. So all of you in Delaware and in nearby states, if you want to come out there for us to hang out, you can come out there. All right,
to
guys.
my young brother Boyka, I would take a picture of myself eating a big chicken leg, and I would send it over to you. All right.
You won't be like using that way. You can put a food picture like you.
Yeah. Eating where people hungry.
I really want to see if the CDC Youth League will say something. If they will say something about, I really want to see it will really.
They will not talk. You know why they will not talk?
They will say something.
Government.
Yeah.
Namaga can hire people in the government. The youth will not talk because they want to get hired or they don't want to lose their job.
Yeah. And I go take a picture with so many people hungry around. He go take a picture, you know. Man. My man, I see y'all later.
Man for the food. What kind of people every day eating, just be taking pictures of the pussy?
That's so embarrassing.
But you never know. Sometimes, you know, maybe Eugene, you see how Eugene dry his childhood, he probably never ate. I'm serious.
I crazy.
No, there are all kind of psychological reasons. So somebody like that, he always want to show all with food. It's possible. Yeah. Who knows? But John,
but stop posting.
I got a long Friday.